It's Monty in the Morning, the show Phoenix Magazine readers voted #1 talk radio show in Arizona. #1 during your morning commute. #1 whenever news breaks during your day. And #1 whenever and wherever you want to talk sports. Now it's time for Monty in the Morning. Hey, yo, man, how the heck are you? It is him, the Monty Show. Thank God it's Friday, December 16th, 2022. The Utah Jazz are fun. How about that win last night? They sweep Zion and the buffet-loving Pelicans right out of Salt Lake City.
The buffet-loving Pelicans.
I don't call people fat. The Pelicans lose to your Utah Jazz. Jordan Clarkson with 39 for the Utah Jazz last night. Are the Utah Jazz willing to trade Jordan Clarkson? Interesting conversation had last night via DM vanishing mode. We'll talk Utah Jazz basketball today. Dude, it's Friday. Don't ask. BYU, do they have a QB1? Is Cade Fennegan that guy? The New Mexico Bowl is tomorrow at 5:30, and SMU is favored over your BYU Cougars. Are you watching MILF Manor? It pains me even to say the words MILF Manor. That's a real show. I kid you not.
MILF Manor.
Now, I know you watch a ton of reality TV. Are you watching MILF Manor?
No.
I said MILF. I said
better.
I said MILF Manor.
Be better, people.
And it's on TLC, the Learning Channel. So let me get this right. What you teaching in MILF Manor, man? Anyway, what did you say TLC stands for now?
This looks cringy.
MILF Manor. That's a real thing. The Monty Show is presented by The Advocates. Find them online, theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business, no doubt about that, are The Advocates. And listen, if you drive a lot, you know that Utah can be challenging for drivers. If somebody hits you because they're driving distracted, our good friend Greg Hawkins last night tweeting that he almost got smoked in an intersection because somebody was on their phone. Hey, man, that's not your fault. If you get into an accident, make sure you find The Advocates at theadvocates.com. Never any upfront costs. You never go into your pocket. They're going to help you defer your medical bills. There are no big retainers, no consultation fees. You don't pay The Advocates unless and until they win your case at theadvocates.com. The Utah Jazz, yes, sir.
We're getting some DMs about sound quality, so is there comments and their sound quality?
Sound quality? What do you mean? It's really... What? It's really staticky, they say. Well, what do we do here, man? Hang on, let's do some work here. No, that's not it. It is super low, so we're gonna do something here that you just hate to do is
Can you hear us now? Settings, can you hear us now? I believe that you can hear us now. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the Monty Show. Can you hear us now? Sounds like when they're announcing bad weather on the radio. Do you know sign
hear
language?
us now?
I only know one piece of sign language, and you don't want to see that. Trust me. Not this early. All right. Well, are we going to have to do the whole
restart
thing?
the show.
Monty in the Morning.
Hey.
The show Phoenix Magazine readers voted #1 talk radio show in Arizona. #1 during your morning.
Shut up. It is the Monty Show presented by The Advocates. TheAdvocates.com. Thanks for hanging in there with us. Sorry if we had audio issues. There is no way, and a lot of people ask us about this, why don't you fix it before the show, bro? There's no way for us to test that.
Yeah, because we rolled out on the show and said, we want the show to be static.
Yeah, nobody will watch a show. Anyway, all right, so let's talk Utah Jazz basketball. The Jazz win last night. They sweep both games from New Orleans in this home-at-home thing, 2-game series that seems to be popular in the NBA these days. And Jordan Clarkson has 39 points while doing it. Are the Utah Jazz trading Jordan Clarkson? I think it's a really fascinating conversation because Jake and I were talking about it, and I know we've had this conversation 1,000 times, but is Jordan Clarkson a number one? Is Jordan Clarkson a guy where you're like, yep, that's our dude, he's number one? Is that a guy where you're like, yeah, he's our alpha? Because I don't think he's that guy. And I know that the Jazz are hesitant. A Jazz source telling me yesterday that the Jazz are not open for business on Jordan Clarkson and that it is doubtful that Ryan Smith would trade Jordan Clarkson, which, again, I say if you're Ryan Smith, you should stay out of the who should we trade business.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me.
You're not
that guy.
And it's why Danny Ainge is here. But I think it's a really important question, Jake. If you're the Jazz, would you trade Jordan Clarkson?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that I would necessarily trade him like just for the sake of it or just because he's a high value guy on the roster. But again, I'm the guy that says, hey, if you want Jordan Clarkson, here's the price. Like if I'm going to trade Jordan Clarkson, I'm going to need a pretty heavy package because I think that this team uses him obviously on a nightly basis in a pretty heavy role. So if you're going to trade one of those guys that you're using heavily, then yeah, you're going to need to get a lot of value out of that. So to me, I've never been a big fan of saying, well, we'll never trade this guy,
right,
or this guy's untouchable, or this guy just isn't available, because it's just not true. I mean, if someone came to the Jazz and said, we'll give you LeBron for Jordan Clarkson, you're going to make that trade, right? Well, then that means he is available, but for a price. And so to me, it's like, no, the Jazz, I probably wouldn't be actively trying to initiate Jordan Clarkson trades. But if someone called me and had a decent trade package, I'd listen. I would definitely listen, but I would probably try to get them onto somebody else.
Yeah.
That's what I would try to do. But again, this is the conundrum for the Jazz that they're going to find themselves in. Like, teams are going to call, and they're going to know what deal they want to do. And Danny's just going to have to decide, hey, do I want to do this deal or not? And, okay, yeah, great, you're calling me about this guy. Cool. Well, this is what you would need to add to the package. This is what you would need to add to the deal for me to feel good about the package.
By the way,
yeah.
Are you seeing do you see what
stream? I think our software got updated.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I think that's what
look
the
at those
issue.
fades.
Yeah,
like,
that's
what
not
is
us.
the story
That's not
here?
us. That's them.
What is the story here?
Okay.
Wow. Okay. But if you look at Cinnamon Roll says, I live in Manila and Syracuse up in Davis County. Trade JC and I'm moving out of the state.
Hey guys.
Like, are you a fan of that? Like,
I mean,
what?
I just don't know. Like, what is the commitment? Is it just that he's a fan favorite? Is it just that you love seeing him in the note? Or like, what is the...
Yeah, I don't know.
What I mean? Like, what is...
Yeah.
It's not like the guy came in and took you to the playoffs, Like, I love JC. Like, I love his game. Super exciting. I mean, even on the bad nights when he has his... we all know those nights where he's 4-12, 4-13, bad shooting night. Like, guys have those nights, but like, I don't know. I guess maybe it's because I didn't grow up in Salt Lake and I'm not a diehard Jazz fan. Like, for me, it's much more of a, hey, like, he's a contributor. Great. He's someone who gives us 30, 35 minutes a night, and that's just what it is, So, again, I'm not married to him, but if you're going to want Jordan Clarkson off my team where he's a staple, you're going to have to give me a lot.
Yeah, I have trouble with the idea of trading Jordan Clarkson. I really do. I think that they won't do it. I would personally do it. I have no issue trading him, and I think, if we're talking about getting the highest, best use out of guys, Jordan Clarkson, Malik Beasley, again, I was told yesterday by an NBA source that Malik Beasley is by far the most in-demand Utah Jazz man. And, I mean, obviously a lot of fans know that the Jazz have the number one bench scoring unit in the NBA, and who's their leading bench scorer? Well, it's Malik Beasley, and I totally understand that. But that doesn't mean that you hang on to Malik Beasley, because when you're a team that teeters on the brink of 500 basketball, you get emotional about guys, right? So you don't do that. But I think the bottom line about this win last night and about this team in general is it's good to be a Utah Jazz fan again. I think if you go back to the summer and you think about all the consternation and the uncertainty, I mean, you have to be thrilled at this point. This team competes night in and night out. There are stretches where guys like NAW had a terrible night last night. He just did not play well. Jordan Clarkson, I tweeted at one point last night, you live by the Clarkson, you die by the Clarkson, because he tends to turn the ball over and he tends to get loose with his handle a little bit. But, Jake, that's who Jordan Clarkson is, I think. And I think you live with that. I think Jordan Clarkson is the idyllic sixth man. I think he's not a starter. I know we've talked about this on the program as well.
Yeah.
He's not a starter, in my opinion, but Jordan Clarkson's an incredibly valuable player. And I actually think Jordan likes being in Salt Lake City. I think he likes being the center of attention. He is a big freaking deal in this town.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw him at Ruth's Chris one night with his what was he driving? A Rolls Royce, I guess, at that point. Like, I mean, he is, and wow, Gesundheit. And he draws a crowd. Like, Jordan Clarkson's a big deal in this town. I think Jazz fans would be pretty upset if you traded him. Now, if you're going to get a Rudy Gobert package for him, like, you're going to take that. But you're not going to get that for Jordan Clarkson. So I wonder, as Jazz fans, I wonder what the bar is there. But having said that, I mean, you got to feel really good about what you're seeing from Lauri Markkanen on this team. Like, I look at the Utah Jazz and the way they utilized Lauri Markkanen last night, finally featuring him in the fourth quarter with the game on the line, big buckets. That three he hit late in the fourth was scintillating.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, obviously we're seeing improvement out of Will Hardy in the scheme. I mean, when you start to understand that, you got to find Lauri late in the game. You just have to. He's one of your best players. Like, if you're going to have someone taking shots, it should be Lauri or JC, in my opinion. I think it was really interesting to me that Alexander Walker got took out late in regulation. I thought it was the right move, honestly. Like, I felt like, you wanted to make sure there was enough space on the floor for everybody so you could run your set and, like, do what you need to do. So I thought it was a good adjustment, but I think Will Hardy is starting to show us that it's really not about the guys. It's about what he's trying to do, in the situation. So if the situation dictates that they need a three to tie the game, well, yeah, you're probably going to try and feed it to Lauri on the perimeter, mainly because he's a 7-footer and he can shoot over guys. So, that opens up options in terms of getting a look. But, the thing that I think this Jazz team really has got to start picking up on is this turnover stuff, man. Like, I see a lot of guys that just commit silly turnovers, like unnecessary, don't need to do it type turnovers, where, like, you're passing across, you're trying to skip pass it from the strong side wing to the weak side corner, and that pass is just not getting completed in the NBA. Every basketball player knows that. You don't make that pass. The stuff with, like, JC or NAW or some of these other guys that just dribble into the paint and turn it over, they got to clean that up a little bit, because my feeling is if you clean that up and you're just more disciplined about running offense as opposed to trying to make the special play constantly,
right,
you're going to give up 5-7 less points a game.
But, the other thing, I think it's interesting you bring up turnovers, because the other thing that I saw last night again, and it tends to pop up out of nowhere, walking the ball up the floor, playing slow, methodical, plotting basketball. And again, Tanner Plummer opened the show this morning comment-wise, which is always really dangerous. And yes, Tanner, we will get to MILF Manor, your favorite TV show, coming up. But he said, "Hey guys, here's a blast from the past. You guys even watch Jazz games?"
No, I don't think so, dude.
Obviously not.
But you remember, like, how long we've been talking about, turnovers and walking the ball up and playing slow. And it is a retro take, but it's true with this team. Like, They only had 7 fast break points last night.
Yeah.
For the entire game, the Jazz had 7 fast break points.
It's not good.
I don't understand that philosophy where it just feels like at times the Jazz just prefer to play slow. And it takes you back to the Quinn Snyder Utah Jazz teams where you didn't necessarily want to get out and run up the floor with your hair on fire. But there were times where you'd run the fast break and Jordan Clarkson would pull up from 3 when he was on a fast break, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting to me how philosophically this team is supposedly different, but they tend to fall back into those what feel like old habits of playing slower basketball. And I'm here to tell you this team needs to play faster to play better. I think they are better when they are running the floor. I think they are better when they play with their hair on fire. I think they're better because it causes matchup problems. And the more threes this team can shoot, the more I think games they're going to win. Mm-hmm. The more the ball moves on the break and the quicker you get up the floor, the more assists you rack up. And again, I just point out the minimum bar for this team, in my opinion, is 25 assists. Well, guess what we got last night? I believe they had 21 assists last night, and I just feel, or 24 assists last night, excuse me, and a good bit of those came in overtime. That's not enough. And again, I look at the 3-point numbers last night. Why did they win this game? Because they shot 47 threes and 38%. So I like that you're shooting, near at or about 50 threes a game. And listening to the Pelicans broadcast last night, it was absolutely demoralizing when those threes were going in. When you had Lauri Markkanen make that 3 in the fourth quarter, that was backbreaking for that team.
Yes.
So I think you got to play faster, you got to move the ball more, and you got to shoot more threes.
Is this the dagger?
Absolutely. And I just feel like sometimes you don't feel like the Jazz do that. It's weird.
I think the other thing that needs to be said, and I completely agree with you, but I think something that really contributes to the inconsistency and pace of play is Mike Conley. When Mike Conley is out there, they usually have really consistent pace, where not to say that he's constantly just running them up the floor and they're constantly playing with their hair on fire, but there is this sense of, again, and it makes sense because it's Mike Conley. We all know what Mike brings to the floor.
It's Mike. It's not Mike Conley. You just say, listen, I watch Holly Rowe on the Jazz broadcast, and she just says Mike.
Are people Myron?
And we just know that it's Mike Conley.
That's pretty much self-explanatory.
And she says Larry. She has trouble saying Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. She says Larry.
Yeah.
But, Holly Rowe calls him Mike. Why can't we call him Mike?
Yeah. Mike Lowry.
There was some tweets, like Tanner again was hating on Holly Rowe last night.
Well, what's there to like?
She's a lovely person and a really nice lady.
Yeah, on college football.
She's great on college football.
Not on basketball.
She's dreadful on the Jazz broadcast.
I'm not here for, this is an Emmy award-winning broadcast. No, it's not. Like, I'm not here for it.
Stop. All right, let's get some of your comments in here on the Utah Jazz as they sweep the Pelicans. Jordan Clarkson, 39 points in a 132-129 overtime win last night. Where are you guys at on the Utah Jazz? And really the question of the morning is, would you trade Jordan Clarkson? Again, I'm told that the Jazz don't particularly have an appetite to do so. And I'm told that Ryan Smith does not want to trade Jordan Clarkson. Is he hands-on? He's
hands-on when it's convenient. He's hands-on when he wants to be hands-on as far as basketball ops is concerned. I think I would guess. I mean, again, this is behind-the-scenes stuff. We're not privy to it, but I would guess based on the things we've heard that he's extremely hands-on with the business side of the club, like TV deal type stuff or renovating the building type stuff that, with all due respect to Ryan, stuff that's going to cost him money, he's hands-on with, right? Which makes sense.
Makes total sense.
I get that. But I think with the basketball stuff, specifically the roster, I think Ryan is hands-on when it works for him, when it's convenient. I think Ryan was hands-on with the Joe Ingles situation, and that didn't really work out for him, right? Because Joe tore his ACL, and that, got traded, and that whole thing happened. With Jordan Clarkson, I think that Ryan Smith, I don't know, Ryan Smith likes to find this middle ground as an owner, where he likes to, I feel like because he's a younger guy, he likes to come off as a fan of the club in addition to being the owner, as opposed to just sort of being the owner, speaking only when he needs to speak on the club, and that's it. Most NBA owners, hey, who owns whatever team? Who owns the Timberwolves? I don't know. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Who owns this club or that club? I don't know. But we know Ryan Smith has been very active in the community here. So, is he hands-on? Yes, to a certain extent. But I think what he likes to do is he likes to tweet about players and say, we're never trading this guy, because he knows that they're a fan favorite, and I think he wants to stay positive.
And I am big time team Ryan Smith. I believe in the guy. Yeah. I love the guy as an owner, but he needs to get in or get out. And I think one of the things that's very interesting is this TV contract is going to be a very, very early in his ownership. It is going to be a really big moment.
What do you mean by get in or get out? When you say that, what do you mean by that?
Well, I think I want Ryan Smith to be all in on the money printing side of the organization. It does concern me. I don't want to make some big deal out of it, but it does concern me to a certain extent that sources at the Jazz and frankly sources around the NBA can, pretty consistently tell me that Ryan Smith has strong opinions on the basketball team, the makeup of the team. And, well, are you involved or are you not? There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of clarity on how much input Ryan Smith has. I know that Danny Ainge has autonomy and he can do what he wants to do. I'm just curious, and I don't have a real firm grasp on how much Ryan Smith's hands are around the Rudy Gobert trade, the Don trade, how much influence he has over whether this club trades Jordan Clarkson or not. My guess is it's not a lot, but it's enough to make a difference. And if I'm Ryan Smith, I'm taking the Steve Ballmer route. If I'm Ryan Smith, I'm taking the Joe Tsai route, where I let my basketball guys handle the basketball and I get involved when I need to.
But a Ryan Smith defender would say, well, isn't he doing that? Isn't he I feel like a lot of people say, oh, well, he brought in Danny and he brought in
well, look, I think, and that's a really good point. I'm not saying he's not doing that. I'm not saying he's not doing that. What I think is interesting is around the league, there's varying opinions on how much influence and how much input he has.
Well, and I think there's varying opinions here. I think there's varying opinions in Salt Lake.
I would agree with that.
I think that people are not sure, if okay, we know you're the owner, but we're not really sure, are you, as an example, are you in the building every day? Are you someone who is in the office every single day, dictating business ops for the club? Are you that kind of owner? Because just the same way, and I know maybe this is obvious for those of you who know basketball ops and stuff, but just the same way that you can bring in the Danny Ainges of the world to run the basketballing side of your club, you can bring in people, right, to run the business side of your basketball organization.
Yes.
You can do that. You can bring in the Danny Ainge of accounting if you want to. So my question is, we don't get to see that side,
awesome.
right? We don't get Buddy the accountant doing press conferences about their P&L sheet. So, that's my question.
Doing press conferences about the P&L.
How involved is Ryan Smith in the club? Yes, you're the owner. Yes, you tweet about the club. Yes, you watch the club. Yes, you're at basically every game.
Jake, I didn't know that I could love you anymore or any more deeply.
You're casual. And
then you show up and you roll out with Buddy having a press conference about the P&L.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. Hey, here at Mo Betta's, we just wanted to bring in Joe Blinkme, who is he's our CPA, and here at this press conference, we're only here to talk about the P&L. So let me go ahead and bring in Joe.
Yeah. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey
That's
guys.
Unbelievable.
Hey guys.
But you see what I mean? We
don't
get insight into that side of the organization. So how am I supposed to know? I would guess, if you're asking me what I think about it or what I think is probably happening, yeah, I think Ryan Smith has been a lifelong Utah Jazz fan. I think the guy's a tech billionaire. I think he's had a magnificent career, as an entrepreneur and as a businessman, which has allowed him to buy the club.
Look, I know I own this janitorial service, but Javier over here is going to join us to address specifically our inventory of drawstring garbage bag liners. Javier, go right ahead.
Donnie, you're out of your element.
A press conference about the P. I don't know why that hit the funny
Buddy
bone.
the accountant having a press conference about the P&L statement.
Buddy the accountant.
Come
Love
on.
it. Neville93 says, good morning, Monty. Yesterday at the stadium was really good night. Let's have a great Friday.
See, but this is another great point. The building is full. I don't want to hear come this offseason, come free agency, even come the trade deadline. I don't want to hear you're not making money. I know you spent millions upon millions renovating the building. By the way, looks phenomenal.
Oh, it is
incredible.
If you haven't been to a Jazz game, number one, you should go ahead and give us a like and hit subscribe because
guys are doing work on that, bro.
You guys, seriously, we only need 27 subscription people. We need 27 new subscribers a day now to get to 9,000 by the end of the year. So you guys have crushed that.
All-time record on likes for one show is 260. I think that's what we said.
262.
262. Okay. So what are we at right now? What's the number? How we
are not at 262.
Well, yeah.
We are not at 262. We are at 30 likes on the dot.
Okay.
So if you are here, please do go ahead and hit that like button because at 9,000 subs, we're going to take you +1 to a Jazz game to see the Cleveland Cavaliers.
To see the renovated building.
By the way, those tickets are going to be about $2,000. We were looking at tickets yesterday because we're getting closer.
We need the money.
Yeah. But give us a thumbs up and a like. If you haven't been to a Jazz game this year, you're missing out. I mean, what Ryan and the club have done with the building for the All-Star game, the new Jumbotron, we were in the Toyota Club, but all the different clubs, the seating, the entertainment, the concourse, the food, the beverage, it is a spectacular venue. It is a great place to watch a basketball game. I agree with you. The revenue stream, especially with the building being full, and again, I'm just going to tell you, I'm into the black and yellow uniform.
Yeah,
I am into the black and yellow uniform. I am into the new Jazz logo. I like the simplicity of it. I hate the white uniform. Don't ever wear it again, please. But
because it's garbage.
The black and yellow, I'm into it. The yellow, I'm getting into it.
Yeah,
I'll never get into the white. Honestly,
the purple speaks for itself.
Yeah, they had the mountain on last night. Yeah. It's all right. I don't love this incarnation of the purple.
Dude, my point just is that you're making money. The club is making money, and if you want to say, okay, Buddy the accountant's telling us we're digging out of some debt. Okay, I get that. I can respect that, but I guess I just don't want to hear that. Hey, we brought in Danny Ainge. We went through this rebrand. We weren't very good for 2 years, and now we don't have a lot of money. Because that's just not true. Yeah. I just don't buy that.
Yep. Let's see. Gage Carter says, good morning. Love to see the Jazz overcome a 13-point deficit to win an OT, something I don't think in years past they would have done. Kurt Myers says, good morning. Great win for the Jazz. Jaren comes off the plane in New Mexico in an ankle boot. Yeah, Kalani as much said he's not going to play. Kurt Myers also says, Tanner, unfortunately, I listen to on the Jazz app because, as you know, the Jazz are tanking for Volkswagen.
Sorry, I thought you said the Jazz were tanking for Volkswagen.
Yeah, who doesn't want a Passat? The point is, you're the guy, you're the one who listens on the Jazz app. And then Tanner, of course, ripped David Locke, which I don't understand.
Right.
Because David is David. I mean, he is a unique voice.
David Locke does good work for what he's asked to do.
Yeah.
It's not like I love the assertion that, David Locke doesn't do this well or do that well. Dude, he works for the club. He's doing what they're asking him to do. It's very simple.
Anthony Cornell says, someone explain to me why John Collins is so much better than Vando. Also factor in the fact that he's making literally half and why this makes sense of a good trade. Vando has more heart. You have no idea what John Collins' heart is. See, this is what don't go too far.
Yeah.
If you don't like John Collins, okay, cool. That's fine. But what gives you the right to question his heart?
Yeah.
The guy plays hard. Right now, by the way, he's still hurt.
And by the way, the teams he's been on have been to the playoffs multiple times.
Yeah, I think John Collins is a guy that I really like. I mean, he's averaging 12-7 and an assist a game. He shoots 48% from the floor. And some of the things you like about him is that he shoots in the high 30s to 40% from three for a power forward. By the way, this team has no power forwards. So they're really lacking at the power forward position.
When you say he's not, like, will you pull up John Collins' season averages again real quick?
Yeah, I got him right here.
Oh, so Vando's at 8.5 points and 8.5 rebounds a game.
Yeah, John's at 12 points and for career, John Collins averages 16 points a game and 8 rebounds, 1.5 assists, a block a game, a steal a game. He, for his career, shoots 55% from the floor and 36% from three. I'm sorry, what is it you don't like? From a power forward, what is it you don't like? The thing you don't like is his perimeter defense is not great. His perimeter defense is not great, John Collins. But he is a guy that's in demand, and what I would love to understand this questioning of his heart.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I mean, granted, he is out. He has got isn't he battling an ankle? I think I want to say, I could be wrong. But why question his heart? That I don't understand. That does not stick with me well. I think the right price, everyone expects maybe Lowry is available. I totally disagree.
He's not available.
I don't think Lowry Markkanen's going anywhere.
Again, for a certain price, but generally speaking, I don't think he's available.
Yeah, I would agree. Mr. E, good morning to you. He says, we have a lot of shooting, no rebounding. That's an issue. I don't mind trading JC at all. Again, I think that's one of the biggest things you get in John Collins, because you're not going to ask John to play a lot of perimeter three here. He is a guy that you need to rebound and you need to be able to get some low post action off of.
Yeah.
He is a guy that would be I would think would be very strong in the pick and roll. And I think he certainly makes you a better rebounding club. Because the power forward, in my opinion, is the single biggest position of need. And we told you about a trade, and I think I still have the graphic. We were telling you yesterday that an NBA source was telling us that this trade right here has been talked about in the amongst these teams, and the issue is that you're struggling to get, in my opinion, you're struggling to get the Suns to do what needs to be done to make this deal happen.
Right.
Because the Suns want Jared Vanderbilt. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I just don't know that Atlanta values Landry Shamet. And I wonder if they can make that deal happen, because Atlanta wants Jay Crowder, the Suns want Jared Vanderbilt, and I think the Jazz want John Collins. In fact, I know they do. So you have the staples to make a deal happen. The question is, who's going to give up draft compensation and to what level?
Yeah.
Because I think that's what's going to make this deal go round. I think John Collins and Dario Saric on an expiring contract makes a hell of a lot of sense to me. It makes a lot of sense. And you look at that they are, in my opinion, what are you giving up there? $26 million. You're acquiring 32. The money makes perfect sense. Like, I think this deal right there is a deal that I would do depending on what the draft compensation is.
Yeah.
But this team needs a power forward, and they need a good young, you can start him 82 times a year power forward.
Yeah.
And John Collins is that guy.
Well, and I think a lot of times Vando, like, I love the guy's heart and everything, but I think, I'm going to say that Utah Jazz fans love work hard guy who's underdog. Like, I think Jazz fans just love that guy.
Yep.
B, I think that Vando works his ass off. He does. I like what he brings to the floor. The problem is it's not enough. Like, I respect his effort in rebounding, but he's not a great rebounder. I respect the fact that he can defend, probably 3, maybe even 4 positions, depending on the matchup. I respect that, but you need more out of that position. You need more offense out of that position, So, like, to me, if Mike Conley, let's say, or even Jordan Clarkson or NAW had a better partner in the pick and roll game, who had some flexibility, I think that would really help Will Hardy's offense.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a 200-pound Jared Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I mean, that for my money, that's scary. I think that's the biggest issue with Jared Vanderbilt. And I don't know what John Collins weighs, but John Collins is 6'9", 226, and their builds are totally different.
Yeah.
Jared Vanderbilt is a small dude, comparatively speaking. Like, he is thin. He is not a guy that, I mean, he just is a small guy.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say that. I mean, I don't know how you, and I'm not trying to get into you too hard on this, but how do you value? I just don't know how you value Vando over John Collins. Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Lopes fan Gabe says, we aren't to 127 likes yet. Step your game up, casuals.
Well,
let's go. Yeah, please do give us a like on the show. 41 likes for
if
about...
If you can get to 100 by the top of the hour, we're
that'd be
usually
great.
in great shape.
Q Sam says, guys, hit the like button. We appreciate that.
Let's go.
CJ Vance, what's up? He says, morning, guys. Great night last night. Go Niners, go Jazz.
Hey, guys.
Yeah. Football 50 coming up here in about 15 minutes. We'll talk a lot of Thursday night football because your San Francisco 49ers are NFC champions. NBA talk on the Monty Show is always presented by Tri-Day Trading, tridaytrading.com/Monty. Again, I'm not a New Year's resolution guy. I just don't believe in it. If you want to make a change in 2023, what are you waiting for to make that change? If you want to make more money, if you want to go on that vacation you've always dreamed of, if you're ready for a new car, if you want, Toyota Club tickets in the second row at Vivint Arena, tridaytrading.com/Monty. Because again, you and I both know that you have 6 probably working days left this year, depending on what you do. When you work for yourself, you have 6 working days, right? Because you're taking at least 1 week off at the end of the year, such as myself and like.
Right.
If I said to you in the next 6 working days you can make $6,000, would you be in on that? Well, of course you would. There are people today who have gone through the TridayTrading.com program that are going to make $1,000 today and every day for the rest of the year because they went to TridayTrading.com/Monty and watched a free webinar. It's no obligation. It costs you nothing. You have absolutely nothing to lose by going and watching the free webinar because it'll change your life. I'm telling you now. If you're struggling, if you're asking yourself, hey, how am I going to pay off these credit cards? How am I going to afford Christmas for my kids? Hey, how am I going to afford to get my car fixed? If that's you, if you're working 2 jobs, if you are, if you're working 2 jobs, your wife's working, your kids are in daycare, which is astronomically expensive.
Yeah.
TridayTrading.com/Monty. Work 1 job, be home for the holidays, take the last week or 2 of the year off every single year, go to the sun and the sand, go up to the mountains, do you by going to TridayTrading.com/Monty. Stop chasing that paycheck that's the drug employers give you to make you forget your dreams. Go watch a free webinar at TridayTrading.com/Monty. All right, let's get some of your thoughts in here. Jeremy Severe says, this sounds heartless, but when it comes to the business of sports, take emotion out of decisions if you want to win championships.
It's true.
Brilliant.
I mean, it's just true.
Absolutely brilliant. I agree 100%.
I'm going to say this again.
Tanner, I'm fine with the Jazz trading anyone if that means that they're going to win a title eventually. Are we all on board? What's your confidence level right now on the Jazz winning a championship? I'm telling you they will compete for and I think win a championship in the next 5 seasons. Within the next 5 seasons, I believe the Utah Jazz will win an NBA championship. I think they have all the assets in place. I think they are remarkably upgraded from last year and really the last 3 years as far as finances go, salary cap go, roster flexibility, trade assets, draft assets. I think you have human assets. I think you have trade assets. You have an owner that's committed to winning. I like where they are a lot. I really do. BB, good morning to you, friend. He says, I think we have too much bench, guys. Sometimes consolidation is good. We still have a lot of depth, almost too much. I think you have got to improve depth at positions now. Like, I look at the point guard spot. Is Mike Conley going to be here a year from now? My guess is I would say 75% not going to be here.
Yeah.
I think next year, Colin Sexton's your starting 1. I think Jordan Clarkson comes off the bench as your 6th man. You've got to add quality guard play on this roster, right? So that's 1 for me. But I absolutely think your weakest position on this roster right now is power forward.
Yeah.
I think it is something that is a huge problem. It was shocking the other night on, Tuesday night, to see them dominate the glass against New Orleans was shocking because that's just not who the Jazz are. I could make the argument they're one of the worst rebounding teams in the Western Conference. And that's on a night-in, night-out basis. This team needs 2 legit power forwards.
Yeah.
John Collins would be an awesome start to that, in my opinion. I think in the next 5 years, this team wins a championship. Absolutely.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Anthony Cornell says, please prove wrong about Laurie. I said he was good on your before Euroball. Again, just saying, where were you then? Or was that going out on a limb?
I don't really understand what
I
you're
have
talking
no
about
idea what
there.
you're talking about, my guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. People that jump on the hype train say what you say until we get a guy like Laurie. Just saying. Attached is stupid to describe building a smart team that is not overpriced. Oh, I don't know, like who? I don't
really understand what you're getting at here, man.
Yeah, you Anthony Cornell, you need to kind of succinctly put all of that into one comment. What do you mean? I don't think anybody wants to trade Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not exactly sure.
Such as and like.
And
Yes,
stuff.
Americans.
You know. Tanner says, the next 5 seasons, I hope you're right, Mont. I think I am. We'll see. John says that would be awesome. I believe 100% in Danny Ainge. He is a wizard. Okay. Q Sam says, which superstar would be available for rental for the next coming years? Well, I mean, the guy is Bradley Beal, but I don't believe that that's the guy you want to build a team around.
Yeah.
I'm not a Brad Beal guy. I think he's a finisher on
Beal.
Well, he has to be called Brad Beal. You know. Brad Beal is not a guy that I think you put on a young team. He's a guy that you put on the Lakers, and he takes them over some
Puts you over the
threshold.
top.
Yeah, exactly. He takes you past where you are. The answer is I don't know, because that's a really difficult question to ask and answer. Because if you look at the guys that are going to lead this league for the next generation, it's Book, Tatum. You know, it's guys like Ja Morant. Are any of those guys available? I don't think so.
Luka.
You know, please stop. Why do you say hurtful things?
What do you mean?
Why do you say hurtful things?
Why was that hurtful?
Because Luka's a cock.
I agree, but
You know.
he's still one of the best scorers in the league.
Samwan Lot says Biolinic.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
You know. That's fine. Ron Nolan says that used to be Utah's go-to slogan, Utah by 5. Oh, that was the University of Utah, and it was win by 5 points. NBA championships for the Jazz in 5 years. Oh, my God, LOL. Well, you can disagree. You know, I don't know why that seems so outrageous for people.
I think people aren't used to winning in Utah. That's what I think. I think people don't have faith.
Do Utah Jazz fans, especially, you know, if you're I'm 49. If you're my age, you remember the Jazz and the Bulls, right? If you're Jake's age, you're about to turn 29 on Sunday. Happy birthday, by the way, fat ass.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm excited for your birthday. I mean, you're totally blowing me off tomorrow.
Right.
You know, Jake
Right.
Jake is choosing the girl he broke up with over FaceTime over me, which is fine. You know.
Right. Right.
So I won't spend time with you for your birthday, which is fine. It's okay. But anyway, the point is, you're 29. I don't think you have any frame of reference on Stockton and Malone. You have no idea what kind of player Jeff Hornacek was, because it just isn't your lifetime.
So you have no frame of reference here, Donnie.
I think that's a major thing. Like, I think today's generation of Jazz fans do not have any idea that this team was on the absolute doorstep of eternity.
Yeah, I mean, I think that people my age know the Jazz for being a mediocre team that has a good year once in a while.
Yeah. Skinny Nick, what's up? He says, does Collins have a jump shot? He does. He actually shoots a 3 at a pretty high percentage, or has over his career. Alex Cooley, who are some realistic trade options for Utah? Again, I think that's an impossible question to answer. I think you look at guys like John Collins, absolutely. I think I know for a fact the Jazz are interested in John Collins. I know for a fact the Jazz would love to have Emmanuel Quickly from the Knicks. Mm-hmm. The question is, are the Knicks going to give up Quickly? I'm told that they would. Are the Jazz and the Knicks ever going to make a trade as long as Danny is there? I don't think so. I don't. I think Leon Rose is so turked over what happened with Don, and watching Don have an MVP caliber season in Cleveland, knowing he should be wearing a Knick uniform, it's a ball breaker. And I think Leon is twerked over that. And
how can you blame him, right?
I don't blame him, because I think Danny Ainge won that deal. Absolutely, he won that deal. But if you're Leon Rose and you can get Jordan Clarkson, or if you're Leon Rose and you can trade think about what they need in New York. I think you absolutely need 2-guard depth. If you can, is RJ Barrett somebody you want to trade for right now? I'm not interested still. I'm not an RJ Barrett guy, right?
Yeah.
But I look at Kyle Kuzma. Is Kyle Kuzma a guy we've heard about? Yeah, absolutely. Kyle Kuzma has been linked to the Jazz. I don't think they're currently interested in Kuz. I could be wrong.
He's a pay me a lot of money, I'll score for you guy.
He is. And now the Lakers are said to want to reacquire him.
Yeah.
I think it's very difficult. I talk to a lot of NBA guys on the regular, and I hear a lot of different names.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of different names.
Well, that's the trouble. Like, the Jazz are a team that have to put 3-team trades together to make things work, and I think that...
Well, I think in today's NBA, 3-team trades are really vital. I mean, bigger trades require... Unless you're going to get a haul and you're trading a boatload for a boatload, Cleveland, Rudy, I think it's very difficult to make one-for-one swaps. So, especially where so many teams... Like, you look at this John Collins deal that we're talking about. Look at the teams that are rumored to be involved in this John Collins deal. I mean, you're talking about the Phoenix Suns, who are NBA championship material. They're well over the salary, the luxury tax threshold. So that's a difficult deal to make 1v1, right? They cannot take on salary. But you look at what they're giving up in Jay Crowder, it's $10.2 million. You look at Dario Saric, that's $9.2 million, right? So they're giving up $19 million plus Landry Shamet, which is $9 more million, right? So they're giving up $28 million, let's say is a round figure. But in this deal, they're only taking back 26. They can make that trade. But the only way to do that trade is to have 3 teams involved in it. When you have teams like Atlanta and Phoenix that have championship aspirations today, right now, I mean, I think what you see there is that they are somebody that you have to have multiple teams involved or that trade's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think it's difficult to make deals. It's very difficult to make deals. I happen to know that the Bulls will not trade Ayo Dosunmu, who I think Danny Ainge would love to have on this team. Right, and that would, but again, the Bulls also wouldn't trade Pat Williams over the summer.
So I'm saying it's an endless thing of who they would trade with.
Yeah, it's very difficult to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah,
as much as I know a lot of people like doing that, I just don't think you can do that.
Yeah,
Kurt Meyer says, Jake, stay out of the trees. Lots of skiers this year already. Lost lots of skiers this year. Yeah, how about the fact that one guy drowned in a tree well?
Yeah, I mean, people don't take it seriously. Oh my God, we got all this snow, but do you know how to ride POW? Do you know, like, everyone wants to go through the trees when there's a bunch of snow, and I'm just sitting here saying, you give me a wide open cut with some powder on it, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need trees. I don't need advanced world beating stuff. I just want to get out there and have a nice time.
Yep. Tanner says, Jake, happy early birthday.
Thanks.
Kurt Meyer says, I really hope the Jazz don't become the NBA supermarket. Don't screw up a great young and veteran team. This is not a great young and veteran team.
Yeah.
See, Kurt, I love you, dude, but that's one step too far. This is a good, not great at anything team. This is a team that is a try-hard effort team that has a guy in Lauri Markkanen who's a star, and then you have a bunch of role players around him. Now, those role players do a lot of good things. Mike Conley is a smart, savvy defender. We saw that last night. You look at Jordan Clarkson, he is as good as he is bad. When he turns the ball over, makes dumb passes, gets caught in the air with nowhere to go with the ball. But then he also drops 39 points and hits a critical fadeaway in overtime.
Is this the dagger?
You have Malik Beasley, who I love the guy.
Yeah.
But he's shooting 43% from 3. You got to trade that guy.
Yeah, but the more he shoots like that from 3, the more I'm asking for. I got to be honest. Like,
his value is
huge.
huge.
Yeah, I mean, I need at least a first round and a player for Malik Beasley.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of teams in this league that want Malik Beasley.
Yeah, first rounder, and a 6-man caliber player to go with him.
There are a lot of teams. Philadelphia, one of them, would love Malik Beasley.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have the ammo to get that done. Again, if you want to give me Emmanuel quickly, I'll give you Malik Beasley. But that's not a fit in New York, I don't think. Or, you look at, I think he's a Western Conference player. Truly, I believe that Malik Beasley is a Western Conference player. And if you look at teams like the Clippers, if you look at teams like, pick your Western Conference playoff. Dallas certainly would be. I would love to see a Malik Beasley, Mike Conley deal worked out with Dallas. Mm-hmm. And I just don't know that they have the guys you want on that team to make that deal work.
Yeah.
I don't think that you do. But
he'd work wonderfully in the Sun system.
But I'd also like to see you go and get like a KJ Martin. I'd also like to see you go and get one of the young. I'd love to go and see. One of the guys that I think is going to be in demand outside of Bojan Bogdanovic, by the way, who's hugely in demand. I think Sitake Bey is a name that is going to be in demand around this league.
Nobody knows Sitake Bey, and the guy's a killer, dude. The guy's an
absolute
killer,
Sitake Bey for 2 years, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Ace Kings. Laurie Marks is our power forward. He's not a power forward. He's a 3. He's a shooting forward. Lauri Markkanen is not a guy that can play power forward. Why do you think that you have Vando and Olynyk playing so much of that 4-5 hybrid?
Yeah.
Lauri Markkanen's not a power forward. He is trust me, again, he came into this league out of Arizona. Oh, he can play the 2, 3, 4. No, he can't. He can play the 3. And he's really good at it. He really runs the floor well. He shoots the 3 well. Lauri's not a prolific rebounder. He's not a tough guy. Lauri Markkanen is a soft Euro player.
Damn good one, though.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's a 3. He's definitely not a 4. Not a 4. All right, 10 to the hour, every hour on the Monty Show. We give you football at 50, presented by Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase at $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. And again, remember the rule.
Yeah.
We like you, but if you have testosterone flowing through your body, we don't use pizza sauce, we use barbecue sauce. So go order your Take and Bake in the Papa Murphy's app, barbecue sauce, and actually extra barbecue sauce. That's the way we go about it, my friends. Did you guys see the line on the New Mexico Bowl for your BYU Cougars?
Yeah.
BYU, SMU, tomorrow, 5:30 ABC. SMU, them Mustangs. 4-point favorite at 64 points.
Do you care about this game?
Not at all.
Do you give a rat's ass about this game?
I think it's a big question.
I can honestly say I don't care. And it sucks because BYU is something in this town that really should be a big deal. BYU for their bowl game should be in a bigger bowl, but they're not, and they're paying the price for being a little bit too nice here and there, not firing guys soon enough. This is what happens. So the only thing I'm curious about is, do you care about this game, or what are you like? Because most years, bowl weekend in this state is a big deal. A lot of people are like, oh, we're going to have get-togethers. We're going to get the smoker out. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. And this year, it's just not a thing.
It's an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
It's an interesting conversation. I think there's a lot of apathy towards BYU right now. There's a lot of frustrated Cougar fans. I think watching Jaren Hall limp down the plane stairs, I think was tough for a lot of BYU fans. I do think he's coming back, by the way. I think Jaren is. And we should talk about that. But I agree. I think that's a huge question. Do you care about the New Mexico Bowl? Because I don't think a lot of BYU fans do. But that's just me. I don't know. I don't know how you change things at BYU other than you just need this game to end and you need to get on with getting on.
You got to win football games.
You just got to get on with getting on.
Yeah, that's how you change it.
And I think it's part of the reason that so many people want to know who's the next quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And I would tell you, and we'll talk about it coming up here in about 20 minutes, Cade Fennegan should be your next quarterback at BYU. I know I'm the only one that thinks that.
Right.
And I know I routinely get thumped on Twitter.
Oh, you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
When I say that. But we got to have a conversation about Jaren Hall coming back. Do you want Jaren Hall to come back to BYU? I don't know that that's such an easy thing to say.
Yeah.
I don't. Here on Football at 50, presented by Papa Murphy's Pizza. Okay, let's talk about the 49ers and the Seahawks. Can we stop filleting GS7
Yeah, here
now?
comes all the, GS7 had a good night, but his guys fumbled the football and didn't put him in a good position.
First of all, GS7 did not have a good night. And there's going to be a lot of people who are like, well, 31 of 44, 238 and a touchdown.
Not his fault.
Well, he also threw an interception that was called back on a roughing the passer that had the interception had nothing to do with the roughing the passer. I don't know. I think Geno Smith is coming back to earth a little bit. Now, this is one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the NFL in San Francisco. And I think Bosa was all over the flipping field last night. Fred Warner had 8 tackles last night. I think Dre Greenlaw is the best linebacker in the NFL nobody's talking about. You look at the way they played, and you look at just the impact that Nick Bosa had on his own. 2 tackles, a sack, a tackle for loss, a pass defended, and 3 quarterback hits.
Yeah, dude. Big impact.
My God.
Yeah.
They had 9 quarterback hits.
Yeah, and I think you see that played out, obviously, in the box score, but, you look at the score, 21-13, it just felt like, the Seahawks just could not get that next stage of momentum going against his defense. You scored, but you weren't rolling. You weren't now we're in our groove here. And I think, you're dropping passes, you're turning the football over. They're just not... They're not that guy this year. You know what I mean? They're not that team that's going to come out and just beat, great teams in the league.
By the way, Chaboy! Brock Purdy.
Brock looking real purdy these days.
He was pretty good last night.
See what he did there? He's pretty good.
Brock Purdy was pretty good again last night. Christian McCaffrey was pretty good again last night. Oh, by the way, George Kittle's a stud.
Yeah, in case you didn't know that.
And I'm telling you right now that team's Super Bowl material.
Yeah.
And you didn't get much out of Brandon Ayuk last night, which is surprising.
But I think the simple truth for the 49ers is it's about the quarterback. It always has been and always will be.
I would agree with that.
And I think they have a roster that's Super Bowl caliber, but how far can Brock take them? Does Brock look like an average quarterback against one of the best defenses in the league? Or does he look serviceable? Or does he excel?
But you know what the thing about Brock Purdy is? He's just comfortable.
Yeah.
He doesn't get shaken easy. He doesn't panic. It's a pretty darn good story. And George Kittle needed that game. That is, if you get Kittle and McCaffrey going.
Dude, McCaffrey's hands for a running back are so ridiculous.
But I'm telling you, if you get Kittle going and you get McCaffrey going, Brandon Ayuk is absolutely one of the best receivers in the NFL in that setup. Because that kid can play football. And I think that's why Purdy's having a good start to his NFL career, because you're throwing the ball to George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, dude.
Are you serious right now? Unbelievable.
Yes.
I just am. I'm a huge fan of it. By the way, Week 14 matchups in the National Football League.
Yeah.
There's some pretty good ones. Or excuse me, Week 15 matchups.
Yeah, get your weeks right here, okay?
This is Week 15.
Yeah.
Bills and Dolphins is the headline game at Buffalo. Bills Mafia.
Okay, how much is the weather going to play a factor?
Well, it's interesting. I have a stat on that, sir.
Oh.
Tua Taga by your mama.
Oh, wow.
Is 0-3 in games under 50 degrees.
Oh, time to hit the panic button.
The high is going to be 28 tomorrow. And is that Saturday? I think that is a Saturday game.
It's a Saturday game.
It is tomorrow.
Yeah.
By the way, we're not spending time together tomorrow, so we won't watch that game together.
I'm a horrible person, and
no, you're not a horrible.
Stop.
You're not a horrible person. You're a terrible son.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Just a terrible son. And
get it right.
This is what it is. I'll watch the tape and review the facts, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, jackass.
Yeah.
At the Bills tomorrow. That game is 6:15 on NFL Crap Network. All 3 Saturday games on NFL Network.
Can I just say I hate watching football on NFL Network?
I'm not a fan of the NFL Network.
It's just not good.
What's a better game, Ravens and Browns or Dolphins and Bills?
Dolphins and Bills.
No, I think the Bills are going to crush Miami. I think the Mike McDaniels put on a shirt that says "I wish it was colder out" and dance around at practice. That ain't going to win you football games in Buffalo.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
I'm just saying, yo. By the way, that Eagles-Bears game, Chicago Bears are coming out on top as 9-point dogs.
Bears are the best. Justin Fields and stuff.
And also, I would also point out, I love a home dog on a Sunday afternoon. Phillies -9, 48.5 at Soldier Field, where it's going to be 29 degrees.
Bro.
Hey, brah, it's going to be 29 degrees.
Hey, Jalen, put your jacket on.
Jerk. Football 50 is presented by our good friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Make sure you order your Papa Murphy's Pizza in the Papa Murphy's app. Double barbecue sauce and tell them Monty sent you.
Papa Murphy's presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, carefully knead dough. Step 2, artfully spread sauce. Step 3, add fresh mozzarella and assemble toppings. Step 4, realize we already did all that for you, so all you have to do is bake it. For a limited time only, get the Hog Heaven Pizza with Canadian bacon, ground sausage, and crispy bacon. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
Papa Murphy's Pizza, super easy to order. It's a Friday night, my friends.
Yeah.
Make sure you order your Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty25. Get those take and bake chocolate chip cookies too. My God, they are so good. They are really good. Are you guys on board with barbecue sauce on a pizza?
You better be.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You know. Forrest G says, I always miss the Jazz talk. Cries. He says morning, though.
We'll have some more.
Jordan Brown says, the Bears aren't winning that. Sorry, Monty. How do you block people on here?
Bro, look, Elon, take it easy, okay?
Yeah, how about that shit last night with Elon? So did you see that Elon Musk blocked a bunch of reporters who called him out over his hypocrisy on banning people on Twitter?
You are fake.
So Elon Musk agrees to do one of those Twitter meetup rooms.
The space.
Yeah, he does a space with all of these reporters. As soon as they started calling him out on blocking people, he left the room and didn't come back.
This is inaccurate.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Funny. Let's see. Jeff Johnson, good morning to you. Guys in the locker room love Purdy. It's just a good story, and everyone wants him to succeed. Great talent around him can make that happen.
Yeah, and hopefully he can perform in big moments against good defenses, because if he can do that, the 49ers are one of those brands that if you're good, like, you can be there a long time, man.
Yep, totally agree. Tanner says, for what it's worth, Tua said the weather won't play a factor.
Yeah, well, Tua can say whatever he wants. He also said his back hurts, and it didn't.
I go to Jordan Brown. But, guys, it snows in Alabama. Exactly right. Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Listen, there's a reason this guy can't play. He is a Polynesian player. He's from the islands. He played at Alabama, and now he plays in Miami. The guy isn't used to cold weather, and I know it sounds crazy. I've actually talked to a lot of quarterbacks about this. The football, especially in the NFL, your balls feel different in cold weather. And, if you haven't grabbed an NFL ball and, if you haven't felt the balls in the cold weather in the NFL, but the NFL football feels different in cold weather. It feels much more hard. Okay.
Guy, what are you doing?
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Grow up.
What are you doing?
The NFL football feels hard
if
and
you,
it feels slick.
Well, if you grab the pigskin, it's going to feel hard. Okay?
You need to grow up.
What?
Child.
What?
I absolutely think the cold weather will make a difference. I do. Kurt Myers says Purdy and the double pass fake to the tight end was rad. Salty Drunk says, sorry I'm late, mofos. Just got home from a Christmas party. The 4X was heaven. Thanks. You and Duck season. Dilly. I know you guys are hanging out. You and Duck season both owe us money.
Yeah.
Period. Eric and Raleigh says the footballs too. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Let's see. Jordan Brown says, Monty, don't block me. I'm sorry. The Bears are the best team in Chicago. Yeah. Bears are the best NFL team in Chicago. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And by the way, they're probably the best college team in Chicago too, because there's not another college team.
The Fighting Illini.
Alex Cooley says he only blocked people for sharing links for doxes.
Yeah. See?
Elon. So Elon was saying, well, I only block people who share links. So one of the people he blocked was a New York Times reporter that wrote a story about a guy that Elon blocked for sharing links. So there was an account that followed Elon Musk's plane around. And
Elon's Jet.
Elon's Jet is the name of the Twitter account. And so Elon blocked him because the guy wouldn't sell Elon his account and he wouldn't stop tracking his jet. So Elon blocked him on Twitter. And he said it's because he was sharing his personal address, which nobody on Twitter or anywhere can find evidence that anybody has ever shared Elon's home address.
Vexes me.
Nobody's ever done that. All this account was doing was, and I don't know why people do this. I don't find it interesting. You can create a bot on Twitter that will follow people's airplanes.
Terribly vexed.
That's what this account did. Every time Elon would fly somewhere, the account would tweet, oh, Elon Musk's jet is going from here to there, blah, 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 blah. And so he says that was doxing, which if you don't know what doxing is here's your address, here's your phone number, your social, Nobody's done that to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So, Fat Jesus says, Ditka 73, blue cheese loving scrubs of Philly 3. That's what I'm talking about.
Blue cheese loving scrubs.
That's right. That's right. Anyway.
That's right, T.
Plumber wants to know where duck season is.
Hey, it's not here. He's probably working his job so he can cough up his $100.
He's driving DoorDash so that he can... I'll stop. The Monty Show is presented by our good friends at The Advocates. TheAdvocates.com. If you've been in an accident of any kind, whether that's a car accident, a motorcycle accident, you tripped and fell, you got crushed in an elevator door. We probably shouldn't guess at terrible accidents. But the point is, if you've been in an accident, you need an attorney. And by the way, I say it every day and people ask me about it all the time. I think the one thing you guys always remember that I say about The Advocates for some reason is if you're considering the question or if you're asking yourself, do I need an attorney? The answer is yes. If you're asking yourself, do I need an attorney? The answer is theadvocates.com. If you're wondering, hey, is my insurance company really got my best interest? Theadvocates.com. Should you trust your insurance company? No. Should you trust your insurance adjuster? Hell no. All those people are in business to keep as much money with the insurance company as possible. So, no, you should not trust them.
Yeah.
You should trust the advocates at theadvocates.com because simply put, you never go into your pocket with the advocates. When when you pay them, it's because they've won your case and you're getting a settlement, right? They're giving you money. That's when you pay the advocates. So there's no big retainers. There's no consultation fees. In fact, you can go to theadvocates.com right now and chat with an attorney 24/7 at theadvocates.com. Let's get a couple more of your comments in here. Pied Piper says, I don't understand the love for Elon.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And you know what? The interesting thing is about Elon real quick. He took another chunk of billions from his stock for Tesla. Tesla. It's such a habit. It is Tesla. He sold billions of dollars worth of Tesla stock just to make interest payments on his Twitter debt. At what point does Twitter go under? Because I told you the other day, Elon has essentially stopped paying his bills at Twitter. He is not paying severance packages. He is not paying COBRAs, which means insurance. He's not providing benefits to his former employees anymore like he has agreed to do. He stopped paying their severance salary. He stopped paying rent on all Twitter property. He is no longer paying rent. He's just daring people to sue him. I don't know. Maybe he's going to file bankruptcy. I have no idea. But it's going to be interesting to see what Elon Musk does here because at some point, the well on the Tesla stock's going to run dry because it is way off. Tesla is absolutely one of the worst investments my money guy ever made for me, even though I asked him not to. Roris, good morning. I'm pretty sure Elon claimed it was a safety concern to have live updates on people's locations without their permission. He absolutely mentioned his address, and that's not what his complaint was about. Roris, his complaint was about the fact that people were putting the location of his plane. It's all on Twitter. You can go and look at it. The Twitter Spaces thing, the worst part about it for Elon is, and again, if you're just tuning in, Elon Musk did a Twitter Space with a bunch of reporters who were pressing him on why he blocked the New York Times and the Washington Post and all these reporters. He blocked them because he doesn't want to be held accountable. And he said, well, he just kept saying it's cut and dry. If you dox people, you're going to get blocked. And so at one point they tried to ask him, well, where has your address been published? And by that point, he had left the room. He quit. He just walked. He left the space.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to answer the question. It's just, it was so dumb to buy Twitter. This was so dumb by a guy who's wildly intelligent. This was an ego play. And I think he thought he could screw with the guys at Twitter. And then they're like, no, you're going to buy it, dude. You agreed to buy it. You're going to buy it. And it was an ego play. And oh, by the way, then the stock market crashed. So,
yeah, good luck.
You know, Skeet says Twitter is a POS. They don't deserve anything good. That's not true. You know, Tanner says Elon held a Twitter space session. Dang, I should have gone on there and shouted out your guys' show again. Yeah, you should. And we appreciate you doing that. That's why you're the vice mayor of Monty Town.
Yeah.
You know, Eric and Raleigh says Elon isn't that intelligent. You know, okay.
People have their opinions.
They do. Let's talk. Where do you want to go here? You want to go back to the Jazz? You want to go to BYU's Nobody Cares bowl game?
We should talk about the quarterbacks real quick.
Okay, let's talk BYU quarterbacks real quick before we get back to the NBA.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at on Jaren Hall? Because you know that the New Mexico Bowl is tomorrow. I don't know where they're playing that game. I believe it's in Tennessee.
Dude, it could be the Montana Bowl and nobody would care.
Yeah, I don't think anybody cares. The New Mexico Bowl tomorrow, 5:30 Mountain Time on ABC. BYU and SMU, who's a 4-point favorite SMU is. Jaren Hall, we do know, will not play. And the question again is, should Jaren Hall come back to BYU? And I think he's coming back. I think if he wasn't coming back, he'd have said so by now.
Yeah.
He would not be, if he wasn't coming back, he would not be limping down a stairway off of a jet at the New Mexico Bowl. He would be preparing for the NFL Combine.
Mm-hmm.
And my point in all of this is, who's the next quarterback at BYU? Is it on the roster? Is it Cade Fennegan? I think the kid deserves a shot. I mean, he obviously this was his freshman year. I think the kid deserves a shot. And there's so many people that are down on this guy, and I don't understand why. I think he has a real chance. Again, if you treat him better than you treated Conover, in my opinion, he has a real chance to be a QB1 at BYU, and I don't understand why so many people are down on him.
Yeah, well, and I think the whole concept of, hey, this guy or that guy deserves a shot hasn't been real good for BYU. You know, you look at the way the Conover situation played out, and not that Finnegan's in the same position Conover was in, but I think that guys who are not like bona fide, gotta play him guy, they struggle at BYU because there's not this sense of, hey, well, you know, this guy is redshirting, so why don't we develop him? Why don't we, you know, let's get him some first team reps in the week when Jaren's got his fill, or let's get him, you know, like let's take those opportunities. And so, like, I think what happens is that leads to a struggle in backfilling a guy like Jaren Hall, because like it or hate it, Jaren Hall has been a good quarterback at BYU. The injuries have been a struggle, obviously, but I think overall, you know, he's been a pretty good quarterback. And I just have this sense that heading into the Big 12, you damn well better have a good quarterback, man. You've got to have a guy, whether that's Jaren Hall or Finnegan or someone else you go and get, Drew Pine, you know, whatever. Like, you got to have someone that can come in here and be reliable, and hopefully Jaren can stay healthy.
Yeah, we had a big debate about Drew Pine on the show earlier this week. If you missed it, I just think I would much rather invest in Cade Fennegan than Drew Pine, because Drew Pine's a guy, frankly, that didn't want to fight for his job and try to earn the job again at Notre Dame. What makes you think he's good enough to come in?
Is it too harsh to say he's a quitter?
I think it's probably too harsh, but I look at, and a lot of people said that about Jacob Conover, that he quit on BYU. He never got a shot at BYU. He never got a shot at BYU. They gave him, sure, was he on the field? Yes, he was. But look at the Utah State game last year. The play calling did not set him up well.
Yeah, this isn't basketball where you could just go out and make plays.
No, you when you are a young quarterback coming into a game where your starting quarterback gets hurt, you need some quick outs, you need some screens, and I just think the play calling did not help him. this coaching staff very clearly did not believe in Jacob Conover. He did the right thing by transferring to ASU. He's going to be the guy there. That is his coach. He knows the coach at Arizona State. They like each other. Like, okay, go home. I'm totally good with that. Drew Pine was the starting quarterback the entire season pretty much at Notre Dame. And they said to him, hey, we're going to make you compete for the job. We're going to bring in a transfer portal guy, and we are going to give our other quarterback a chance to win the job who's on the roster. And he said, no, thanks. I'm going to transfer. So, yeah, I think it's probably strong to say he quit. But like noodle arm quitter quarterback that was at Utah last year,
yep,
that guy quit on the team. Dallin Holker, you make me want to scream. Dallin Holker's dad, which is where I should probably just stop because you know it's a problem already.
Yeah.
Dallin Holker's dad said, you know, we need to transfer from BYU because he was on the team as well, apparently. Dallin Holker's dad said, we need to transfer to a place that will utilize the tight end and give him the best chance to help the team on the field.
What's wrong with you?
So you wanted to go somewhere where you could be the tight end, like Utah. But you ended up at Colorado State. You quit on the team.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And you went to Colorado State. You're soft. Drew Pine is soft. That's the bottom line.
If you're any kind of competitor, especially as a quarterback, you know what he should have said?
Man.
He should have said, yeah, give those guys a chance. I'll still be your starter. Give those guys a chance. I'll go out and win the job, though.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
That's sports, dude. Like, it's like, again, it like sports is a play-by-play thing. You have to earn your job like every play. And I think that guys don't want to do that anymore. And again, it's this whole bigger picture conversation about how, you know, millennials and Gen Z or whatever were given everything and they don't want to compete. And it's like, no, dude, I think a lot of people who are playing college football right now do want to compete, but you have this sect of guy who doesn't want to compete. Like, the problem for Dallin is that he was getting targets. He was getting reps. That's the problem. That's why I don't understand, like, where you went. If you want to say, hey, it wasn't a rep thing. It wasn't really we weren't getting a chance thing. BYU just didn't feel like a fit for us anymore, you know, and we wanted to go to a fresh situation.
So you went to Colorado State,
which I just don't get.
Dummy.
Yeah, I don't get that at all, dude. So
did Utah not want Dallin Holker? That's a huge question now. Oh, I'd like to ask Dallin, but he won't return a phone call or a text message because he doesn't want to talk about it.
Everything you need to know.
Yeah. It's so disappointing. Kurt Meyer says, look at Taysom Hill and Tanner Mangum. Jaren has a chance to start a new era in the Big 12. He doesn't, though. You know what the issue with that is? One, he's injury prone. Two, he's going to be there 1 year max. That's not starting a new era. You have a chance with a young quarterback, a Cade Fennegan, for instance, to start a new era.
Yeah.
And the thing that I don't understand about the negativity on Cade Fennegan is you've not seen this guy play. So what do you mean he's not good enough? Because I hear this he's just not good enough. He's got tremendous size. He's got a great arm. The kid's mobile. What do you mean he's not good enough?
Yeah.
All quarterbacks need is a chance to fail. The thing that a lot of us don't think about with the quarterback position, nowadays you're only, in my opinion, given an opportunity to fail, not to succeed. And a guy like Cade Fennegan has all of the physical tools that you want. What is it that you don't like about him? Because I don't understand it. He went to Boise, served a mission. I believe he served in Argentina, somewhere in Central America, I think. Central America, Argentina. Anyway, point is, he serves his mission, comes to BYU, and all of a sudden he's not good enough? What have you seen from him that makes you think he's not good enough? Because that I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Jeremy says, Cade has the tools, mobility, arm likability. Forget the Boise game in 2020. Boise recruits pretty good quarterbacks. Zach Wilson as an example.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get that. Jeremy Bolton says, Cam, saw that last night. He probably got all the playing time he wants, but no one will care at Colorado State for Dallin Holker. Yeah, what are you doing?
You went to the wrong Colorado school, bud.
Yeah. Jeremy Bolton, good morning to you, by the way. He says, people forget that Jaren's the only quarterback in 11 years to beat Utah. Yeah, I guess. I absolutely guess. Make sure you hit the like button right now as we talk BYU football on the Monty Show. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I think people are quick to jump the gun. They want to say, hey, this guy's not good or that guy's not good. And I don't think we should do that. I think these guys should get a chance to show what they can do. You know, I mean, what do you have to lose? You're not going to be a good team in the Big 12 this year. Like, what do you have to lose?
Kurt Myers says, you guys are getting too big, too damn. Too damn many interruptions, break-ins. What do you mean? What do you mean break-ins?
What does
that mean? I don't know what that means.
Oh,
you mean
ads.
He means ads. Yeah, he's talking about the ads. Well, you're correct.
Well, that's out of our control, man.
Yeah, we don't play those ads, by the way. That's YouTube.
Yeah, that's out of our control.
And we do appreciate you guys. There's been a lot of conversation about this, just on a 20-second side note. There's been a lot of conversation about that we have advertisers on the show, and, well, this is our full-time gig. So, yeah, we're going to have partners on the show. So...
No, but I think what he's saying is YouTube's.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have our YouTube metrics are astronomical. It's crazy. Like, I appreciate you guys so much. I mean, we routinely get notes from YouTube talking about like our watch time on our live. We got a notification yesterday talking about how that we are in the 1 percentile on YouTube of watch time on our live shows. Yeah. We do like 26 minutes of watch time, I think it is. Yeah, I mean, you guys support the show. It's amazing. Talking BYU football, maybe the coaches nudge those guys out the door because the coaches obviously know they are soft, Roris says, and they don't have an actual chance of playing in the future, and they're taking up a scholarship. I don't believe that Dallin Holker was nudged out the door. Dallin Holker was getting reps. I don't believe Jacob Conover absolutely could have been. They could have had their meeting with Conover and said, hey, you're just not our guy.
Yeah.
Because they clearly did not want Conover to be their quarterback.
Yeah.
Very clearly. Very clearly. You know? Jeremy Bolton says, amen. No one has seen Fennegan play except the time against BYU 2 years ago when he was a super freshman. That's what I'm saying. And he's a totally different human being.
How are you gonna say the guy, sucks or isn't a fit or whatever? You haven't even seen him.
Yeah. Skinny Dick Nick says maybe he went to ASU because he got some intel about Jaren coming back. There's a lot of people. But again, by the way, Jacob Conover, I've called him. I've left him probably 3 messages and a bunch of text messages. Doesn't want to talk.
Yeah, these guys don't want to talk about their inner workings, which, again, I respect.
And I respect that.
Yeah, like I get it. But if, like, with Dallin Holker, I don't get it because you made a really poor decision. And anyway, you can sell me some kind of story that at Colorado State you're going to get some unique opportunity. And the fact is, you should have gone. If you're going to go to Colorado, you should have gone and played for Prime.
Yes.
But what you should have done is gone to Utah and played for Witt and been the next Brant Keithy or Dalton Kincaid. That's what you should have been.
It is. If you are not absolutely flabbergasted that Dallin Holker went to a G5, I mean. You went to AAA. Let's see. You were in the major leagues, and you're like, yeah, I want more playing time in the majors. I'm going to AAA. What? So let me get this right. You said you essentially quit a team that's going into the Big 12 and is one of the most successful independently built programs in the history of college football to go to Colorado State. Hello?
So I said, yeah.
I don't know. That does not compute to me.
Yeah.
And what it feels like, and I don't know because they won't come on the show, it feels like Dad made a bad decision. Honest to God, that's what it feels like. It feels like Dad went to Dallin and said, "You're being disrespected. You're so much
happen, Tonto.
You're better than Isaac Rex." So all of a sudden, you went to Colorado State. I gotta believe that Utah didn't want him. Honest, and I'm not trying to be harsh. You're Dallin Holker. You were, I think, clearly the best tight end that they had was Dallin Holker, in my opinion. Because I'm not an Isaac Rex guy like X's and O's on the field. Tremendous human. I think Dallin Holker was the better tight end. I think he could play at Utah. Something happened. And you want to know what it is? What did we always say in baseball when you were playing? This ain't daddy ball anymore. And I think perception, something Had to have happened there.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me that Utah's like, yeah, nah, we're good. Thanks, dude. But, you guys are losing your 2 best tight ends. Yeah, we don't want daddy ball here. I don't know what it is.
Bless.
But, man.
Yeah.
Ron Nolan says the quitter noodle arm quarterback lost that game for Utah. And then he quit on the team.
We're not going to say his name, by the way.
No, I'm never going to say his name again. Never going to say his name again. Cam said Dallin decided to play G5 conference instead of the Big 12. He did.
Which I just don't get.
It's mind-numbing to me. All right. All of our college football talk on this show is brought to you by our good friends at Barbecue Pit Stop. bbqpitstop.com. I just felt like saying it like that.
I mean, it sounded cool.
It makes me feel like Dallin Holker's dad. BarbecuePitstop.com. I don't know his dad. He could be a perfectly nice guy. bbqpitstop.com, your gift-giving destination, I'm telling you. And again, if you don't have the asado seasoning, okay, I'll forgive you for that. Are you a pellet smoker guy? Let's talk about this. I know a lot of people are like, oh, man, me and my charcoal briquettes. Nah, bro. But I love my tanks of propane fuel.
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Why are you not using a Traeger pellet smoker? You should be. Now, listen, if you're a Yoder guy, hey.
More power to you.
Good job. If you're a Big Green Egg guy, good job.
Boom.
Good job. You got to be a Traeger guy.
That's every
okay?
day.
Now, listen to me. Listen. Let Uncle Monty help you here. It's easy to use, and I almost can't say it out loud. It's easy to use a pellet smoker. It's not the quadratic isosceles equation triangle and stuff.
So you better check yourself.
Plug it in. You just plug it into an outlet. Put the pellets in the hopper. There's a little bin. Pour them in there. Hit ignite. And all of a sudden, smoke starts coming out.
I'm going to say this again.
Then your Wi-Fi technology, which is Bluetooth on a Traeger smoker, dings your phone. Ding. Smoker's preheating cycle is complete. Great. Drop the wings on the smoker. 35 minutes later, you've got the best wings in the business.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Because you put asado seasoning on the wings before you dropped them on the Traeger Ironwood 885.
Yeah, and you came prepared with your own set of tongs so you could flip your wings.
Pretty easy. Done. Enjoy the game.
Get it done.
Like, it is that simple, and that's why you go to Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com, or find one of their 5 Utah locations in Logan, Layton, Lehigh, St. Geezy, St. George, and, of course, our good friends in Salt Lake City, Murray.
Yeah.
They're great guys to do business with, whether it is, Clinton in Lehigh, who, I'm telling you, the guy made a turkey breast, the guy made wings, we made all of those Papa Murphy's pizzas on those Traegers that day when we watched BYU.
Yes.
I don't know if I would say compete against Oregon.
That's probably not the word I would use.
When we watched BYU waste jet fuel going up to Autzen Stadium.
Yes.
Sorry, that was probably harsh. Anyway, my point is, it was awesome to watch them operate. But the thing that was really awesome is all of our listeners that showed up at the event, talking to guys like Clinton, talking to Steve, talking to all the guys at Barbecue Pit Stop about, hey, well, what does this seasoning do? And what does that seasoning do? And how do you work this? And it was just a lot of fun to watch the guys at Barbecue Pit Stop operate because they just are passionate about the game. So if you haven't done your shopping yet, for your brother, your dad, your cousin, your uncle, your coworkers, your mom, your sister, go to bbqpitstop.com, shop online. They'll ship right to your front door no matter where you are. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Are we doing Traeger pizza this weekend?
Yes.
I mean, I know I'm not going to see you at all this weekend, but Sunday for your birthday, by the way, Jake's birthday is Sunday. He popped out of the womb 29 years ago on Sunday. And we are taking you to Ruth's Chris in Park City.
Right.
Which is owned and operated by friends of the program, by the way.
Right.
Not that we're going for free. But our good friend Devery Davis, it's in the DNA chain of the Devery Davis family.
The DNA chain.
Yes, the DNA chain. So we're going to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse up in Park City. We're going to snowboard. It's going to be amazing. Then we're going to have a great steak dinner. And I have one more gift to give you. I do have one more birthday gift.
It better not be
you.
prophylactics.
No.
No.
Not kind of. I mean, I'm not going to say it. Anyway, the point is, for all your gift-getting needs, make sure you go to Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. And my Monty fan says, are we doing Traeger pizza this weekend? What do you mean? Of course we are.
Yeah.
See, exactly.
Duh.
Right. Brett Robbins says, happy 15th birthday, Jake.
Thank you, Brett. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you. It's really, it's been a really good 14 years and 364 days.
Lopes fan Gabe says, good morning, gang. He has entered the chat. Smoker over propane for life. Yeah. Absolutely.
Where are we at on likes? Right now?
Where are we at on likes right now? Well over 1,000 views, and we are at 79 likes.
All right, come on.
Little behind the curve.
We got to get it going here.
Little behind the curve.
Don't Dale and Holker the like button, okay?
Yeah, let's go.
I need you to, I need you to be camerizing here, okay?
Don't be a noodle arm quarterback.
Yeah.
Hit the like button.
Come on.
If 150 of you who are here, everybody hasn't hit the like button, do it. If we get 150 likes, it would be off the chisel.
Yeah.
My nizzle.
My nizzle.
I don't know. Let's see. Kanai says, happy early cake day, Jake.
Thanks.
Jake's getting that cake, brah.
MILF Manor.
Let's see. Joshua Mose says, Monty got Jake a muffler. I mean, I wish I had. I mean, the people at Zion National Park wish I had. The people up in the Tetons wish I had.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Do you think that video of Danny Ainge talking about 16 years of mediocrity was directed at you?
Could have been. I mean,
all right,
it could have been.
let's move on.
Yeah.
Boyd Lake says, yo, bros.
Suh, dude.
Hey, Claw.
Jeremy Bolton says, happy birthday, Jake. Does Jake know what sex is?
No, just a complete casual on that topic.
By the way, there is a Pornhub discussion in non-sports stories of the day today, 1 hour from now. If you're watching the show live at 8:30.
Top searches by state. How long does each state watch for?
And we have to have a discussion. Look at Ninkovich with the fire red fives on today.
Yeah.
Where Get Up is on in the background, by the way. But we do have to have a discussion about why people pay for pornography.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it. Now, I'm not a guy that consumes pornography.
I've been a rich man and I have been a poor man.
And I take
every fucking time
my money every time. Why do people pay for fans only? OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Why do I make that mistake every single time I bring it up on the show? Why do people pay for OnlyFans? I don't get it. My wife made an explanation the other day about, well, if you want somebody to suck on your toes, you got to pay for that. It's like, okay. Giggity says, Jake isn't a virgin, guys. He's been very intimate with Paul Mala. Yeah, he's Jake. Look, if you can't love yourself, who can you love?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Let's see. Eric and Raleigh says, I'm just happy for Jake that he got a real haircut.
Yeah.
We did. We went and saw our guy Jay Taffa at Dave's Barbershop in Daybreak.
Dude.
I'm telling you, that's something else we're going to talk about in non-sports stories before we get back to the Jazz here. If you do not have your own barber, like somebody that you go to every single time, you're doing it wrong. We went to the barber for almost 3 hours last night.
Mm-hmm.
Our guy Jay Taffa,
yeah,
the New Zealander,
yeah,
the 275er,
yes.
Yeah, I mean, beyond the fact he gives you an amazing haircut, it's just he's just good people.
Yeah,
he does not advertise on the
barber's
show.
Supposed to be.
It is. Kanai says Jake is soaking on Sunday.
Tanner, can you give me some tips on how to soak?
Don't. Why would you ignite Tanner like that? Oh, hey, bro, why are you gaslighting me, dude? Don't gaslight Tanner.
You're fucking Cole Beasley.
Yeah, don't. Jeremy Bolton says, happy birthday, Jake. Does Jake know what sex is? You still haven't answered.
Just like that.
Okay, so he does.
Yeah.
Thank you for finally answering that question. MY Monty fan says, Jeremy Bolton, we needed you yesterday. Work getting in the way again? We did need you yesterday. We need Jeremy Bolton every day. Every day. I hit the like button because you begged.
Well.
Are we begging for likes? Dude, the simple fact is when you hit the like button, that's how YouTube works. Don't know how to break it to you. And this comes up a lot too. You guys are begging for subs. Yeah, we want people to subscribe.
You're just clickbaiting.
Yes, absolutely. We want people to click on our thumbnails. That's exactly right. Yes, that's how it works.
We're only here for one reason.
Click on the thumbnail, click on the like, Click on the subscribe.
Watch for 26 minutes at a time.
Click on the bell.
Boom. Bada boom, bada bing.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That's how it works. Let's see. Anthony Mitchell says, good morning, everyone. Haven't been on for a while. Happy birthday, Jake. Enjoy it, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Jason says, is this a radio show? This just showed up on my news feed. This is whatever you want it to be.
No, it's not.
Okay, everybody.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Relax.
My bad.
Relax. It's not your birthday yet. My point is, Jason, new to the show, where are you from? What did you search for to find us?
Yeah.
And, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, let us know, man.
Luisito Diaz says, shout out to Jordan JC of PH. Wish him luck on the Jazz. There you go. Appreciate that. Brett Robbins says, SLC podcast. Yeah, we're not really a podcast anymore.
Yeah.
This comes
There's been a transformation.
We do a live show every morning, 6 to 9 a.m. We talk about Mountain Time. We talk about sports of all kinds. We mainly focus on Utah sports, but we talk a ton of NBA, a ton of NFL, a ton of college football, Pac-12, Big 12. So it's just a matter of, it is what it is. Jason says, I'm in Sandy, YouTube fever. I just want to listen about the best b-ball team.
Oh, dude, see? You see what I mean?
Well, let's deliver on the brand, MFers.
Let's do it.
Let's talk Utah Jazz basketball on the Monty Show because the Jazz sweep Zion Williamson. No, I'm not going to do it.
No, I'm not.
I'm not going to pander. I'm not going to pander. I'm not going to pander to your hate and disrespectful takes.
First team while fat ass. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
Come on.
Chubbs. Interesting thing last night in the game.
Yeah.
And one of the things I've talked about a lot about Zion Williamson on this show is that I feel like he's a guy that's very limited. And I know people are like, oh, you're an idiot. You're a casual. Do you guys even watch the NBA?
Makes me want to puke.
We do, but did you see the Jazz attacking Zion Williamson defensively?
Yeah.
Like pick and rolling him to death.
Yeah, they were looking for JC against Zion at the top of the key.
Switching him to death with Jordan Clarkson, who dominated him. And it's remarkable when you watch a guy as talented as Zion in those situations, you realize, A, I'm really good looking and I'm intelligent when I tell you it's cool that you can dunk. And I'll say this about everybody in the NBA. They can all dunk except Steph Curry. They can all dunk. But what else do you have to offer? And Zion Williamson has very little else to offer. And you'll notice over the two games, every time Zion Williamson went after Walker Kessler, Walker got a little better. Now, he got dunked on 2-3 times, but he got a little better. And I think Zion Williamson's biggest limitation is all he does is dunk. That's it. That's his whole game. What's the scouting report? He dunks. No, I mean like offensively, he dunks. That's it. Did you notice? And it was a really good pass, that three that tied the game for New Orleans. Zion passed up the three ball because he can't shoot it. Now, he passed it to, I can't remember the cat's name off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Shoots a three out of the corner. But I'm just telling you, Zion's very limited. The Jazz get the win. They sweep the two-game set, 132-129. Jordan Clarkson last night carries him with 39. And I think one of the bigger questions on Jordan Clarkson is this a guy you're married to? Because NBA sources around the league have told us for months and months and months that the Jazz were open for business on Jordan Clarkson. And I think now, I don't necessarily believe that that's the case. I think there's a lot of teams chasing Jordan Clarkson. There's a lot of teams who'd like to have Jordan Clarkson. That doesn't mean the Jazz would trade him. And, talking to guys yesterday, there is belief around the NBA that Ryan Smith does not want to trade Jordan Clarkson.
Mm-hmm.
And we've heard that repeatedly. And it brings up this question of how involved is Ryan Smith? Like, how hands-on is he? I think he's pretty hands-on. But I'm telling you right now, if you can get value for value, which is a first-round pick for Jordan Clarkson, I don't know how you turn that down. And if you can make a trade to get yourself a bona fide power forward, I think you have to make that trade. And the trade we talked about yesterday on the show, that an NBA source who pretty much has not been wrong very often.
Yeah.
This is a trade that is being bandied about. I'm told this trade has been talked about. Mike Conley and Jared Vanderbilt end up in Phoenix. Jay Crowder and Landry Shamet from Phoenix to Atlanta. And John Collins and Dario Saric end up in Utah. What if I said to you, hey, you know what? We're going to have to make that Jordan Clarkson instead of a Vando instead of a Conley.
Right.
I don't know that money works. But how many of you would hesitate to trade Jordan Clarkson and Jared Vanderbilt to get a John Collins, let's say?
Yeah, I mean,
I would not do that. I think you need to get more value in return for that.
Yeah.
But if you make that trade and you get 2 first-round picks in that deal, I'm probably doing that deal.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Like, I think that the thing with Jordan Clarkson is the only tidbit that I am real steadfast on with Jordan Clarkson is I'm not trading him like for like. I'm not doing it. I'm not trading him for a guy that's just has a different name but plays the same way Jordan does, right? Like, I'm not doing that. That's a waste of time in my opinion. But what I am doing is what you just said. I am happy to trade Jordan Clarkson if I can get a position of need and at least 1 draft pick, depending on the position of need and the caliber of guy that I'm getting back. And so to me, this is a really simple thing, but I think this concept of how involved is Ryan Smith in these conversations in Danny Ainge's office? Because I think Ryan Smith, and again, this is my opinion, not off like sourced information or anything, just what I think. I think that Ryan Smith is involved when it's convenient for him, meaning he's involved when it's Joe Ingles before the ACL tear in the trade, when now it's Jordan Clarkson, a guy that he really likes. That's when I think Ryan gets in and really shares his opinion. But other than that, I think Ryan has said, Danny, here's the keys to the car. Build us a championship contender over the next 3 seasons. And by the way, Danny's doing a damn good job of that, I might add. So to me,
I would agree.
I don't even, and I want to be clear, I don't want to come off saying that or making it seem like I'm saying Ryan's doing something wrong. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that I think as an owner, Ryan Smith on the basketball side is going to be less involved. And on the business side, it's an everyday thing for him because that's who he is. He's an entrepreneur. That's what he's particularly passionate about and frankly has knowledge on.
I think it's really interesting that you have a guy in Ryan Smith that I think has done a fairly good job. I mean, the TV deal's a disaster. Let's see what he does here. He has a chance to rebound from that.
Yeah.
I mean, the big things that Ryan Smith has struggled with, the new owner of the Utah Jazz, the uniform rollout was an abject failure. I mean, there's just no way to spin that. Not having a new TV deal, okay, well, let's believe him 100%. He had no choice in that. Okay, but still, the TV deal is a disaster. The radio deal is a disaster. Mm-hmm. You can't hear the game on the radio most nights. Why every Utah Jazz game is not on KSL, I don't understand that.
Yeah, and I'm curious, like, you know, we just got this new listener or viewer, Jason. Like, I'm curious, Jason and everyone else out there.
You want to know how Jason's new? Here's how you know he's new. He wants to know if soaking's a sport. Bro, you have no idea how deep we've been on soaking on this show.
Was that a double entendre there? How deep we've been on soaking?
Okay.
Do you see what he did there?
I have a lot of respect for that.
Soaking, deep like it's it all kind of works together.
We talk a lot of sports on this show, but you know. Tanner Plummer brought up soaking, and now he's the super soaker. It is what it is. Lopes fan Gabe says hitting like is the cost of admission for every video you watch on YouTube. Them's the rules. Exactly right.
Appreciate you, Gabe.
Support the content creator who makes the content you consume. Totally agree with that.
Yeah, and you know, I think it's worth mentioning. I know, you know, Jason, you're new, and I know we're getting a ton of. Just so you guys know, we're getting a ton of new listeners and viewers on the show. So this show is done live every day at the Maverick Center. We get up at 4 a.m. to do the show at 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. or so. We don't really have an end time. Some days it's 9:30. We've even gone as late as 10. Most days it's 9. And it's 5 days a week. So we appreciate you finding us and listening and tuning in.
And everybody's welcome. Jeremy Bolton, by the way, Jason, Jeremy is the mayor of Montytown.
Yeah, and that's not dubbed by us. That the listeners have dubbed Jeremy the mayor of Montytown.
Well, no, I thought he kind of overthrew the government and took over the mayor of Montytown.
Well, you know, when Grocock did all the voting scandal and won the Xbox and, you know, did all that, Jeremy kind of piggybacked off that same action, and now he's won that position.
And by the way, his name really is Corey Grocock. You can't make that up. The mayor says, so fun to watch a team who plays with more effort on defense than any single one of those players from last year. And I think that's a huge point, JB. I think this is a fun team to watch. Jazz basketball is fun again. And it is, I get up at 4 o'clock every morning. I stayed up until 10:15 watching this game. Mm-hmm. I'm not turning that game off. You're in overtime against Zion and the Pels, and I just love the passion and the energy that this team brings.
Yeah.
And they're not perfect. They're not a title contender. They're probably a 40-win fringe playoff team, if we're being honest about the Utah Jazz. But you can't tell me that they don't play an enjoyable brand of basketball.
But isn't that why it's fun? Because the expectation isn't that, hey, we're going to go and win a championship this year. The expectation, and again, I want to say this town loves an underdog, which is exactly what this team is. Hey, coming into the season, we're tanking for VW, or as Kurt said, a Volkswagen. We're tanking for a Volkswagen, right? But they've overachieved all of that. They've done exactly what everybody said they wouldn't do, which is they've played 500 basketball, which is good enough for this team. So to me, that's what makes it fun, because you're like, all right, well, like I heard like 4 times, and I even said it myself yesterday. I was a little surprised that the Pelicans didn't come out with more to offer last night. I was
seriously
I was a little surprised that you lost the first game. And then in the second
And let's be honest, you got embarrassed on Tuesday night. The Pelicans, you can't give, what did they have, 58 rebounds?
Yeah, and I think
the Jazz had 58 rebounds.
The Jazz won by 20 or whatever it was. They won handily.
You got embarrassed.
Yeah, so you lose that first game the way you did, and you got beat pretty bad. And everyone assumed, okay, you've got CJ, you've got Herb, you've got Zion. You've got these guys that really should be able to carry you over the line against this version of the Jazz. And it just didn't happen. And I don't know, if Zion...
They miss Brandon Ingram. Well, that team misses Brandon Ingram something terrible. And I still maintain that Zion's not a franchise player. I know he sells jerseys and brings people to the yard, and I totally get that. He is not a guy in basketball in general. You can't say Zion Williamson's going to carry this team to a championship.
Yeah, he's not that guy.
You can't. They miss Brandon Ingram something and what's little dude's name? Arroyo. They miss
Alvarado.
Arroyo Alvarado.
It's all the same.
You miss those guys because Zion's not it. And you look at CJ, and I think CJ's a lovely player.
Yeah.
But he can't carry a team.
Yeah.
And neither can Zion Williamson.
We gotta get Amal. I think his name is Amal, down 2 right there.
Here?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
This popped up because I was looking for Big 12 news and content. You guys talk heavy Utah sports, but you're so entertaining. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate that. We do talk a lot of college football.
We do.
And yeah. We have fun doing it. Kurt Meyer says the best damn sports show in Utah. Thank you. I actually used to work on the best damn sports show at Fox Sports. There was a show.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
There was a show called The Best Damn Sports Show. It was fun. Luis Capazzo says, is that fat or fat?
No, it's fat with an F.
Wow, you just why are you calling me fat?
I didn't call you fat.
It's a glandular issue.
I get it. You're big boned. I understand, right? We get it.
That's amazing. Jaren Eccles says, Jason, wait until football at 50. Oh, yeah, we about to get crazy. Greg Hale says, I was at the game with my boys. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Their first Jazz game ever, and they are now big-time fans.
I'm telling you,
what a great game.
The building is ridiculous right now. I mean, it's full. It's renovated.
Yeah.
It looks good. It's
Greg,
everything you want.
That's a great game for your kids to be to have that be their first game. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Brett Robbins says, are we still on Zion being a bust, being too large to be in charge? For where he was and the hype he came in with, Zion Williamson's a bust.
I think that Zion can be on a championship team, but he's never going to be the reason you win a championship. And furthermore, I would say I think Zion, they're asking too much of him right now, in my opinion, because they're still exploring what he can do. Ultimately, I think he falls into a second or third slot on a championship team because he can get after guys. I mean, you put Zion in the right spot, he's damn near impossible to stop.
He needs to be on the Knicks, dude. If you had that mix of players, which, again, man, I would be desperate to get Emmanuel quickly. Good Lord. But if you put him with an R.J. Barrett, that makes R.J. Barrett a better player. Yeah. If you put Zion Williamson with Jalen Brunson, Jalen makes Zion a better player.
But they already have their guy in Julius.
Julius is not their guy. Julius is a Nick. Now I agree with that. Julius is a Nick, but Zion Williamson can get you a 2-point bucket, or he's going to get fouled.
Yeah.
I think
but that's another thing in his
Zion
game, dude. He's got to shoot the free throw better.
Zion or Julius Randle?
Probably Zion at this point. Yeah, I think you have to go because Zion's more explosive. Zion's younger. He's got less miles on the tires. But again,
Julius dude.
Yeah, but he's hit or miss. Julius is very
You know who
up and
needs
down,
Julius?
man.
You know who needs Julius? The Chicago Bulls need Julius.
Yeah, the Chicago Bulls need a lot,
He
man.
would. Well, thank you for that, jerk. He would be a great fit. He'd be a great fit with the Bulls. Oh, Julius, my God.
Yeah.
He would. UC Regent Gumby says, guys. Happy birthday, Jake.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Hey, guys.
You're welcome.
Hey,
Jake
guys.
Sperling says, if the three-pointer didn't exist, Zion would be the best player in the NBA.
Well.
That's exactly right. Brett Robbins says Giannis. He's never. Does he scale up to be Giannis? Zion?
Nah.
No.
Giannis is more athletic. Like, he can do more.
Yeah. Boyd Lake says one-dimensional. Does Zion defend well? He does not.
No, he does not.
No, he does not. Let's see. Cody Strickland says, okay, I got to stop you guys. He's not that good. He's fat ass that just rolls down the lane. Just watching him, I was like, dude's going to get injured any minute now.
Fat!
You're not wrong. Brett Robbins says, I am married to Clarkson. Do you guys have a good relationship? Like, how's your, like, I see. It's my bad. My bad. I'll stop. He's Ginobili? Guy. Jordan Clarkson is not Manu Ginobili. One of the greatest ever to play in the NBA, Manu Ginobili.
Dude.
Are you telling me that Jordan, is that what you mean by that? Give him starters minutes as a six-man. He can outright score more bench points himself than the opponent's bench combined. He's on a good deal. Well, he is on a good deal, but the problem with Jordan is, and I tweeted this last night, you live by the Clarkson.
And you die by the Clarkson.
Those turnovers,
Because it's garbage.
I call Jordan Clarkson a heat check player. When he's hot, forget it.
Yeah.
But there are times where that dude just can't do it. And he's a six-man. I agree with that. Dude, you cannot compare him to Manu Ginobili. Teddy Wayman says, no way I trade Vanderbilt and Clarkson for Collins. Collins has been injured the last few seasons.
Yeah, and I think it's a consideration for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's a very fair point, Teddy. You know, and I think that the issue really is that the Hawks have this appetite to trade him because they know they've got Trey and DeJounte Murray, and they're on the fringe of being in a championship window, but they've got to add more if they want to step fully into that window.
By the way, for all the new listeners, Teddy Wayman,
otherwise known as the Beard.
His beard is just next level, man. And the Wayman Brothers Construction built this studio.
Yeah.
So Teddy's our dude.
Yeah.
And I am jealous of the beard. Teddy, are we on pizza duty tonight? Teddy also has great taste in building Papa Murphy's pizzas, by the way. Football 50, 10 of the hour. Every hour on The Monty Show, we bring you the biggest stories in football, presented by our good friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Make sure you download the Papa Murphy's app. Then use the promo code Monty25.
Monty.
Hey, Monty. Monty25, M-O-N-T-Y, Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase, a $25 or more. New Mexico Bowl is tomorrow night. All right, cool. Done talking BYU.
Cool. So are the Jazz playing tomorrow night, or?
By the way, the Jazz have a really friendly schedule the next couple of weeks. Does anybody care about the New Mexico Bowl? I asked last hour on Football 50, does anybody care? And you guys were like,
Can you get back to Jazz talk now?
nobody answered. Like, do you guys care about the New Mexico Bowl at all?
I'm not even trying to be an asshole about this. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody. Like, you're not relevant now because of the choices you made earlier in the season. And so to me, great. Hire Jay Hill, hire Kelly Papinga, great. Nobody cares about this bowl. And
Give
frankly,
me your best dance move to this music.
No, I can't do that. No, I can't do that, dude. I'm sorry.
It's your birthday.
Well, actually, it's not my birthday. That's Sunday.
Sunday's your birthday and you won't dance.
No, I'm not. I know my limitations. Yeah.
Are you going to dance?
No. I know my limitations.
Why are you not going to dance?
Because I'm not a dancer.
Right, I understand, but why?
I can soak, but I'm not going to dance.
Nobody is. We're not doing anything. Just give me one. Like, give me a dab then.
A dab?
Like, give me the. Okay, good. Good enough. Don't ever do that again.
Okay, sorry.
I don't think anybody cares about the New Mexico Bowl.
No.
I don't. I really don't. I think more people care about the San Francisco 49ers, champions of the NFC West. How about the Niners last night dominating GS7 and the Seahawks?
Oh, GS7.
They hit Geno Smith 9 times last night. 9 times last night. And frankly, I just think that the Seahawks, I don't know, are the Seahawks frauds? And I say that in that everybody kind of had them as like darlings and hey, this is cool and
GS7.
I just don't feel like they're that good. And by the way, Cody Barton's got to stop trailing plays because that's not how you make tackles in this league.
I think they're a try-hard team, meaning that they work as hard as they can, but they're just not good enough. It just is what it is. Like that is the plight of many professional sports teams, including the Utah Jazz. Like you're a team that's got some talent, that had a nice story in a quarterback, that inevitably is going to get washed out because better teams come along, dude.
Yeah. Like
tell me that Brock Purdy is not doing exactly what Geno's doing.
Brock was pretty good.
Come on, dude.
Brock. Okay. UC Regent Gumby says Jake can soak but can't dance. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ron Nolan wants to know who's in the New Mexico Bowl. Exactly.
Your mom.
My mom. Sean Mirzinski says Purdy is pretty good.
Yeah,
See,
Purdy is pretty good.
Purdy's pretty good. You know. Barfing Chicken says everyone has given up on the bowl. Defensive staff changes. QB situation is really weird. And Kalani might try multiple different QBs.
That's what I'm saying. This is like a practice scrimmage for BYU.
Oh, look at Chris Carr and Arlington Bears. Going on a date with the wife during the game, I'll record it.
Attaboy.
One of the most passionate BYU fans said he's going to record the bowl game.
Because it's not relevant. Damn.
Come on. Greg Hale says maybe a tryout for SMU in the Pac-12 could be because the champions of the Pac-12 every year, BYU football.
Yeah.
Hale.
Yeah, okay. See what he did there? Because BYU's independent, but they play a lot of Pac-12 teams, including Utah that they beat.
Boyd Lake says, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of QB pushed out Jacob Conover of BYU. Exactly. Brandon White said, I don't care about any college sports. Amateurs aren't worth caring about. Wow. Well, they're no longer amateurs.
Next question.
Jaren Hall made $135,000 in NIL money last year.
Yeah.
Provo Fit Barbecue, good morning, gents. I'd be smashing the like button as I run an offset smoker, a.k.a. Traeger Spanker.
Let's go.
It's my guy. Let's go. Smash the like button. We're at like 1,500 views and 113 likes. Let's go. Getting up there. Appreciate you guys. Niners defense is a buzzsaw, Mike Maple said.
Yes, it is.
It's the best defense in the NFL, and one of the things I think is pretty clear about that Niners team is offensively they can compete with their defense, right? So they're not one-sided like a lot of teams in this league, and I think you look at George Kittle with 2 scores last night, you've got to be terrified if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, who I think are the best team in the East. That's terrifying.
But I think the way he scored, like both of those throws were on the money.
Yeah.
And I think everyone today is talking about that double fake to Kittle up the seam. Like that's a great play. And I think that again, I'm not going to sit here and say that Brock Purdy is somehow the best quarterback in the league or some dynamic than Jimmy G was. But we need to see what he's like in a playoff game. We need to see what he's like in the biggest moment. And if he's able to come through in the biggest moment and just protect the football, they're going to be fine. If he does that, I think they've got a great shot at a Super Bowl appearance. Reasonably, I think they do.
Football 50, 10 of the hour, every hour, presented by Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty25. I think one of the more intriguing games this week is Dallas at Jacksonville. Dallas is -4 in that game. The number is only 48.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons has been doing a lot of talking this week. And I'm telling you, Jacksonville is where dreams go to die right now because Jacksonville can beat anybody. That's a game you should pay attention to because I think there is more than a puncher's chance that that's going to be a tough kick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be a very difficult kickoff. And I also think, by the way, you look at that Rams-Packers game. Are the Packers making the playoffs or not? I don't think
so, dude.
They'd have to run the table, and their schedule is the Rams at the Dolphins, Vikings, and Lions.
Nah.
I think that game is a really big game as well. And I know secretly people are like, well, what do you mean it's a big game? You look at the playoff picture. In the NFC, and the Packers are 5-8. They're only about 2 games out. If they run the table, because you can't tell me Detroit's going to run the table. They're not. Seattle at 7-7 is not running the table. By the way, Giants and Commanders, one of those teams is in and one of those teams is out.
Everyone's taking the Commanders, and I'm just telling you.
But why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Dude.
You're taking the Giants in that game?
They're the Washington Commanders, right?
Yeah, but I think they're trying to win despite the jerk-off racist owner.
I'm not saying they're not trying to win. I do think they're trying to win, but I don't think we should have such confidence in them.
But are you taking the Giants over the Commanders?
I want to, but probably shouldn't.
Guys, show some balls. Are you taking the Giants over the Commanders?
Yeah, I'll take them. Yeah, I'll take them.
No, I want to. But, I'm taking the Commanders in that game.
You and everybody else. You're going to tell me to show some balls.
Me and everybody else is going to be eating some Papa Murphy's pizza while we do it.
Papa Murphy's presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, grab a delicious Papa Murphy's pizza. Step 2, bake. Step 3, chow down on the deliciousness. Order the limited time Hog Heaven pizza today at papamurphys.com.
Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase at $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Let's get a couple more comments in here. Maple says, Washington has San Francisco next week. I'll take the Giants. Okay. I mean, I can't disagree. Luis Capazzo says 300 likes is the goal today. If you've not hit the like button, get it done. We appreciate you guys advocating for likes.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
We have 115 likes.
Yesterday we got to 200 likes.
We did get to 200 yesterday. So let's go to 200 and then try 300.
Yeah.
Salty Drunk says, hey, Jake, is your hoe giving you a little something for your birthday? Is your hoe giving you a little something?
Yeah, Santa's coming through. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Brady versus Joe Cool is a huge game. I agree. What do you make of Tampa? Are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a legitimate NFC threat? Because I don't think they are. There's just something wrong there. I think Philadelphia and San Francisco are clearly the 2 best teams in the NFC.
Right.
I don't even know that there's much to argue there.
There's not.
But if you look at the second-tier teams, I could be wrong, and I'd have to look it up. I don't believe that Kirk Cousins has ever completed a pass in the month of December.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, you could be wrong.
I think he's 0 for 17,841 passes. I have to look it up. He's not good in the clutch. I still want to know what the Dallas Cowboys are. I will be impressed if they go. Well, don't shake your head at me. I'll be impressed if they go to Jacksonville and they win that game.
Dude, the Cowboys have to prove they're something other than what they've been. Until that time, they are who we thought they were. They're a good team that lets you down in the postseason every year.
68 and sunny in Tampa this weekend. And Cincinnati's a 3.5-point favorite at Raymond James in Tampa.
Yeah, as they should be.
Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow in that game.
Yeah.
The AFC is a better conference. There's just no way to slice it.
Absolutely.
By the way, again, I will repeat the stat real quick before we move on here, that Tua Tagovailoa, otherwise known as Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins, is 0-3 in games he's started where the temperature has been sub 50 degrees. It is going to be 28 degrees in Buffalo.
Damn.
0-3. Tell me again that Miami is going to win that game. And as I mentioned last hour, NFL footballs are really hard and slick in cold weather. And I think it's going to be very difficult.
Good luck.
Good luck. The Monty Show every single day on YouTube is presented by the Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. If you've been in a wreck, been in a car accident, if you slipped and fell on some ice, make sure that you get to the Advocates, because when you need somebody to fight for you, there's only one choice, and it's the Advocates.
You've been in an accident, and now you're injured. Though it wasn't your fault, you now have to deal with getting your car fixed, mounting medical bills, and insurance companies who don't play fair. But don't worry. The experienced team at The Advocates are here to get you the support you need.
That's right. Find them online, theadvocates.com, for the best injury attorneys in the business. And really the best part is you never come out of your pocket to pay them because those guys don't charge you consultation fees or big retainers. You can chat with a lawyer right now today online at theadvocates.com. There's a button that says talk to a lawyer. Click that button 24/7. You're talking to a lawyer at The Advocates. theadvocates.com. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday to you again. Wish Jake a happy birthday. He will be of legal age on Sunday. Is Jake's 29th birthday.
All right, I'm getting old. Right.
You're getting old. Dude, I can't believe that you're 29. That's crazy. Arlington Bear says, all jokes aside, Mrs. Monty needs to be on the show more. She is rarely on that we are all at
Yes.
is rarely on now that we are all at the new studio. Well, frankly, Mrs. Monty will be on the show more. The problem is she's got a broken arm right now. She's gone from COVID to the dog getting COVID to breaking her arm.
Dog getting COVID.
She's had kind of a tough run.
The coronavirus.
So, you know. Salty Drunk says, apologies, Jake. Is your young lady entertaining you on your day of birth?
Indeed. Yes.
So I said, yeah.
Jaren Eccles, Miami is going to win. Mostert will have 100-plus yards rushing game, and Tua will show up after 2 bad weeks.
Well, you keep telling yourself that, Jaren, and we'll talk Monday.
Don't do it. Losing to the Lions is a telltale on the Vikings. Well, that's probably true. Are the Lions legit?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. I think they're very difficult to deal with. Cody Strickland says, you know what would be fun weekly giveaway? 6-pick $5 NFL tickets for Wendover. 6 picks from your guy's choice as a number 1 ticket or a 2-week or 100.
Yeah, you're getting too complicated now.
Now it's just gotten too you know. Greg Hawkins says, Jake and I are only 7 months apart.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Okay. Like, are you guys kindred spirits then?
I guess.
You know. Greg, by the way, I saw your tweet about your accident, dude. I hope you're okay. I'm glad you're okay. Let's see. Salty Drunk says, hey, Monty, do you think you should have settled 29 years ago? No, probably not. I probably should have left you on the carpet, but I didn't.
Physiologically, it's a non-starter.
You know, no, Jake's awesome. For those of you new to the show, Jake is actually my son, by the way. I'm 5,700 years old. I'm actually 49. He's 29.
Right. Do the math.
There you go. Teddy says 35-14. Bills easy win.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Okay. Let's see. Code says the Pelicans fear the Suns.
I'm going to say that's not true.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Boyd Lake says Jay Swag Daddy is legit having a great year in Detroit. Yeah, Jamal Williams is absolutely.
Stud.
Absolutely. Kenai Johnson says, Salty Drunk, you're on one today. I agree. Ken Williams says, no, the Vikings defense is dead last. Kurt and JJ had monster games. JJ's legit.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about that. He's absolutely legit. All right, a couple of things I want to get to this hour. Obviously, the Jazz win last night. The biggest stories in sports on the Monty Show every single day, presented by Quick Quack Car Wash. There's only one choice in Utah. When it's snowy like this, finally we're going to get a Sunday today. Hit the Quick Quack, man. I'm telling you, 5 minutes or less. I've got the Jeep outside. Going to hit the Quick Quack.
Rubicon.
That's right, MFers.
Yeah.
Going to hit the Quick Quack with the Jeep. It's going to be nice and clean. And the best part is you don't wait in long lines for hours at a time. 5-7 minutes, almost no matter how long the line is. You're in and out of Quick Quack in 5-7 minutes. The people are friendly. And by the way, bring the kids. Jeremy Bolton, the mayor of Montytown yesterday, tweeted pictures of us inside the car wash. And what did you see? Different colored soap, different lights. Like, it's actually really fun.
Yeah.
At Quick Quack Car Wash. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Monty Show. K. Nuren says, what number 1 can the Jazz get that will bring the Jazz a championship? A power forward of note. That's what the Utah Jazz need. I think the biggest story in sports, without a doubt, is the Utah Jazz sweep a 2-game set with the New Orleans Pelicans, 132-129 last night. Jordan Clarkson leads the way with 39 points. Jazz at the Milwaukee Bucks. Their schedule really does play. I don't know. You guys probably don't care about this, but if you look at the Utah Jazz schedule, it's pretty amazing that they really don't have They don't have a tough schedule to end the month. They play Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Monday. They're off from December 22nd to the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, because, well, nobody thought they'd be good, so they weren't playing on Christmas Day. It's really fascinating. And this trip is a 2-game set to Milwaukee, and then they go to see Donnie and the Cavs. They come back home for Detroit and Washington, and then they go out on a 3-gamer, San Antonio, Golden State, and Sacramento.
Yeah.
So I think their schedule's pretty...
I mean, it definitely caters to having rest and, playing rested, which is always good. I mean,
absolutely.
This team is clearly better when they're rested.
I think that's because you're going to get practice time. That's the thing that really stands out is you're getting practice time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for Will Hardy and this Jazz team, practice time is absolutely imperative. But then again, don't forget Tuesday, January 10th, Donnie and the Cleveland Cavaliers come to town. Are you guys excited about that game? I cannot wait to have Donnie back at Vivint. Does he get booed?
Man. I mean,
does Donovan Mitchell get booed?
I kind of think he does because he's taken on this sort of villain character in Cleveland on some level. Like all the comments about actually liking basketball again and like having fun and being grateful to be in Cleveland. Like, he's just made some of those backhanded, just kind of stick a screwdriver in me and screw it. Like just some of that stuff is, I think he's been vilified by Jazz fans. Yeah. So I think he's got a good shot at getting booed.
I which is ridiculous to me.
And they're going to do a tribute video, and they're going to do right. The club will do right by him, but I think that
so is it like a whole house booing? Is it loud boos?
No, I think it's like half and half. I think that he'll get cheers, but I think there will be a sect of Jazz fan who doesn't like Donovan Mitchell, who thinks that Donovan Mitchell was self-serving and played hero ball and didn't like,
talked about politics.
Yeah, talked about politics. Like,
you really think he gets booed?
I'm not saying all of the Viv is going to boo him, but what I am saying is that there is going to be a good chapter of that stadium that boos him.
Well, we want to take you to see that game. U+1, all you have to do is hit subscribe because we are motoring to 9,000 subscribers on the show. And once we get to 9,000, if we do that by the end of the year, and we're at 8,590 now.
Wow.
8,590 with 15 days to go.
Mm-hmm.
So if we hit 9,000 by the end of the year, which is only 27 subs a day, when we're doing about between 35 and 70 subs a day, we will take U+1. We will draw one subscriber's name. We will take you to a Jazz game. We'll do it in a black car. We'll get to the game, lower bowl tickets. We'll take you to the team store. You can buy any jersey you want. I'm telling you, get the black and white sweatshirt. Mm-hmm. I would go sweatshirt, not jersey. Get the black and white Jazz logo sweatshirt, the Ryan Smith special, as I call it. And then we'll watch the game together with Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs taking on your Utah Jazz. And all you have to do is smash that subscribe button. That's why we're asking everybody to like the show, because it really does push our subscriber base forward. And yes, we need subscribers on this show. So if you hit the like button and you hit subscribe, we're going to reward you for that.
Yeah.
That is a fact. We're also, by the way, coming up in January, you're going to hear about our All-Star Game contest. We're going to give away a pair of tickets to the NBA All-Star Game that includes a dinner as well. So you have a whole All-Star Game experience. We also are giving away a weekend of spring training in Mesa, Arizona with the Cubs. So we have a lot of contesting coming up, but let's get to 9,000 by the end of the month so that we can then take everybody to a Jazz game. That would be amazing.
Yes.
So make sure you give us a like right now. If you're not here, there's 171 people watching the show.
Right now.
Right now. We are trying to get to 200 subs per show.
200 likes per show.
200 likes, excuse me. No, we want 200 subs per show, don't we?
Well, that would work too. Yeah.
We're trying to get to 200 likes a show. We've had almost 2,000 people watch the show today. Hook it up. Hit the like button, and let's get to 9,000 by the end of the year. Are you going to boo Donovan Mitchell? Let's get your thoughts on that. Teddy Wayman says, happy birthday, Jake. Just had my 30th.
There you go, Teddy. Let's go, man.
Hey, I feel so old. You guys are like, you quite literally are 20 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
That feels so old. Code says the Jazz should trade for Jay Crowder. Nah, That's the wrong time for Jay Crowder to be a Jazz man. One, he was here already. Two, he's just at a stage of his career that doesn't help the Jazz much.
Yeah.
Brett Robbins says Giannis is going to murder Kessler. Good luck, rookie. We'll see. We'll see. Salty Drunk wants to know how good would it be if Jingles suits up against the Jazz? Well, they say he's on the verge of playing.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, again, I would remind you that it's Jazz at Milwaukee on Saturday, 6 Mountain Time. So I think there's a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
Cody says, I love Donovan, but I love the no hero ball we got going on. Yeah, Sexton and JC does it here and there, but nothing like how it was with Donovan. Yeah, could be. Could be.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a black hole of content, you know. Let's see. Ahmad El Mabashir. Ahmad. Wait, what? Y'all really father and son? Yeah.
Yep.
I kid you not.
Yep.
Yes, we really are. Barfing chickens. I could care less about basketball, but if I were there, I'd boo because he plays for another team. Really?
I suppose.
Really? Kanai says, no, I like it, Salty Drunk. That's my type of humor. Okay, I like that. Brother. Jake, I didn't know you're 29 years old because I'm 31 and you're like 7 months. Sorry, happy birthday to you. Sorry, can't sing like that. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Happy birthday to you. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Same.
Looking forward to it.
Same.
So it's going to be cold this weekend, though, by the way. If you're in Utah.
Layer it up.
Absolutely. Button up. The Donovan Mitchell thing is really interesting to me because I don't think it's what happened the last 2 years is not Donovan's fault. It really is not.
But I think that everyone has their opinion on it, you know? So, like, Jazz fans are notorious for being negative, and I think that Donovan is an easy scapegoat.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's frustrating to me that so many people blame him and they don't blame Rudy. Because if you're blaming Donovan and you're not blaming Rudy, I think it's a little short-sighted.
Yeah, those two guys were the pillars of the team, and I think they share equal responsibility, you know, like at a minimum.
Yep, I don't disagree with that. By the way, remember we were talking about managing dudes' loads?
Yeah.
Did you see that the Brooklyn Nets got fined $25,000 for inappropriate use of the injury list because they sat 8 guys in a back-to-back against the Pacers, including Kevin and Kyrie?
Yeah.
$25,000. Does that solve managing a load of a bro in the NBA?
No, that's a slap on the wrist, dude. Just slap on the wrist. I don't think it solves anything, but I think, hey, hand out some fines. That'll,
Yeah, I think there's no way to fix load management in the NBA.
No.
And it's frustrating.
No, there's not. And I think that, the schedule kind of helps a little bit here and there, but when you're playing back-to-back, teams are going to do that.
Yeah, I am, and it's just my opinion. It is just my opinion. I am of the mind that I don't believe that you can fix this problem. I think load management in the NBA for a guy like Kawhi and Paul George didn't play last night.
Load management has been a thing since the Kobe days, man. Like it's been around. It's not new. And I think people are just less tolerable with it now. They want you to play every night.
Yeah, and I also think, by the way, I think we saw load management with Mike Conley last night.
Yep.
There was a large stretch in the fourth quarter where Mike was on the bench.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with handling. Like, if every team handled it that way, we wouldn't be talking about it. Like, people wouldn't be upset.
Yeah, but if you're the Lakers, if you're the Celtics, if you're Ja Morant, if you're Devin Booker, who was terrible last night, by the way, you can't miss games for the sake of missing games.
Right.
And I understand that these guys are battling injury. Like a Kawhi Leonard, I totally understand.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard's coming back from a major knee incident and injury.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. But Paul George seems to have more injuries that need us to manage his load than any player in the history of the NBA. Or I look at
part of the plan.
I look at a Mike Conley. I understand Mike Conley's 171 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play him 50 minutes, but at least he played in the game.
Yeah.
And so if I'm the NBA, I think you have to have Kevin Durant and Kyrie play.
Well,
and if you're only going to play him 20 minutes or 15 minutes, okay, I get that.
Yeah, and I think the thing with Mike that it's so brilliant is they played him in crunch time. They played him when it mattered most, but he just didn't play a lion's share of minutes to keep him healthy. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I think you have to find a way to stop it, and I don't know how you do it. I think it's the unfixable problem.
It's legislature in the league. So like you would have to put in a rule a piece of legislature that says you can only sit out a certain amount of games due to load management. If you want to...
Well, would it be a thing where you don't pay a player if they have to sit out for load management?
After a certain threshold, because I think that every player deserves a night off here and there. I think that that's fine. But I think, we run into problems when teams are load managing 8 guys in a back-to-back. I think that that's a problem. And I think that if you're going to sit a guy for no reason other than resting him, there needs to be a threshold on out of 82 games, how many games the guy can miss just due to rest. That's how you do that.
Well, I look at Salty Drunk's comment, and he actually makes a really good point. There's an easy fix to load management thing, automatic 14-day hiatus if an independent NBA doctor ticks off. So if you want to load manage a Kevin Durant, and he goes to a doctor that says he's not injured and he's not playing that night, I mean, do you get fined? And if the doctor says, like maybe he has to sit out 10 days. I don't know what that looks like. Maybe if it's that they have to miss 2 games, you can't sit a guy just one game for load management. I don't know. But again, all of these are opinion, and I don't think it works. Because, by the way, the PA will never – half of the problem is the NBA and the NBA Players Association will never agree to this stuff.
Yeah. So the fans end up just eating ass on it.
And that's the problem. Like, again, I'll use the example of me. I'm a Bulls fan. I probably see the Bulls twice a year, maybe in person.
If you're lucky.
If I'm lucky. The other week when we went to the Bulls game here in Salt Lake City, if DeMar had sat, I'd have been flipping pissed, dude.
Yeah.
Like Zach LaVine, if he'd have been load managed in that game, I think, first of all, I think that's a crime in a public place, but that's not really my point. If he hadn't played in that game, I'd have been upset.
Yeah.
If Vucevic hadn't played in that game, I wouldn't have been upset.
You're paying money to go and see these games, and it's like, dude, I'm not paying because I want to step inside Vivint. I'm paying to see DeMar.
Yep. Andy H. says, we need a power forward. Who's available out there that's better than Laurie? The problem is Laurie Markkanen is not a power forward.
Yeah, it's not a better than Laurie thing, dude.
Can we all come to a consensus on this that Laurie Markkanen is not a power forward?
Yeah.
He's a guy that's a 3. He is a soft Euro, with all due respect. Laurie Markkanen's not a 4. You're a 3 or a 4 when you go to tridaytrading.com/Monty. Facts. It didn't really work. My point is tridaytrading.com presents NBA Talk and the Utah Jazz right here on the Monty Show. Anytime we talk basketball or the Utah Jazz, think tridaytrading.com. And I'm telling you again, I say it every day about the guys at Triday Trading. You've got, 6 working days left in the year? If I said to you, hey, in the next 6 days you can make $6,000, would you be in for that?
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this directly. Are you going to make $6,000 in the next 6 days? Oh, you're not? TryDayTrading.com/Monty. That's really what it comes down to. And the best part is that Triday Trading is going to teach you how to be a prolific day trader. You can do that part-time. Triday Trading has people that have gone through their program every day in this country that make hundreds of dollars a day trading on a part-time basis. But they also have guys that have scaled this up. It's their full-time and only-time job, and they're making thousands of dollars a day because they believed in TryDayTrading.com, and you should too. That's why I say, hey, go watch the free webinar. There's no obligation. Anywhere in North America, watch the webinar. TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Watch the free webinar, and if you don't want to be involved in it, great. Never go back. But I'm telling you, you watch that webinar, you're going to want to be involved in it because it really is within your reach to make $1,000 a day. If we said to you, hey, you can make $200,000 a year. Hey, how much money would you prefer to be making than what you are now? If you're making under $100,000, certainly. If I said to you right now, are you going to make $100,000 this year? And if the answer is no, you need to get to TryDayTrading.com/Monty because you work too damn hard not to make 6 figures, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You do. And you should be making $100,000, and TryDayTrading.com can show you how to become a 6-figure earner, and it's not that much of a stretch. Trust me when I say it. Get to TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Talking NBA on the show. Andy H. says, so KO is our 4. His game isn't much different than Laurie Markkanen. So wait, you're comparing Kelly Olynyk and Laurie Markkanen. What I'm telling you is Laurie Markkanen is a 3, and he is a damn good 3.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm telling you is Kelly Olynyk's not a 4. He's a 5 that's playing the 4.
Kelly Olynyk is the Swiss Army knife. Put him where you need him. for 5 to 8 minutes at a time and take them out of the game. That's what he does. And last night, he makes a play at the end of regulation to get the turnover and the 50-50 ball, and that's what allowed you to be in a better position. Like, I think that we can't, like, on one hand, yes, we need to stick these guys into roles. Laurie's a 3, he's not a 4, whatever.
Mike's
like,
a point guard.
Hand, like, one hand, we got to do that. But on another hand, you got to understand that it's all based on matchups. That's the whole thing in the NBA. So, like, if Laurie is playing a particular team and they've got a really nice matchup for him, maybe he is a 4 that night. You know, maybe. But, like, on another night, if it's Steven Adams or Valanciunas or these big, thick, like, lumbering bigs, you're not playing Laurie against that guy. You're going to get him out on the perimeter and put him in positions to score. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not necessarily just that the Jazz need a power forward. They need a guy that can operate down there, and they need a big that can really do some things. Like, Kelly Olynyk is not a 5. Kelly is a 4. He's too small to be a 5. So to me, it's like, hey, if you could get that 4 or 5 guy that's like a Valanciunas or like the more lumbering type big man, that has a use on this team because that would bring balance to your starting 5. But to me, at the end of the day, I just think that Laurie's mentality is not big tough guy. Laurie is soft hero that is a really effective scorer, can shoot the hell out of the ball, like has a nice game, and you're not going to ask him to be some tough guy out there on the floor at the 4.
Yeah, I think, you know, no matter how you look at this, the Jazz position of weakness by far and without doubt is the power forward.
Yeah.
It's why they lack in rebounding. Is Walker Kessler a 4 or 5? He's not. I think Walker's a center, period. I think he can evolve, and he's clearly growing, I think, on a minute-to-minute basis, but you don't have a power forward on this team. And I think that's why the Jazz are so deep in the John Collins trade discussions, because you need a guy like John Collins on this team. He can shoot the 3. He rebounds well. He is not a good perimeter defender, and yet, from what I understand, what I've been told by sources at the Jazz they evaluate John Collins as a guy that they believe they can improve on. They see things in his game that they can tweak and fix, and they believe he can become a much better player than we're seeing in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's what you do when you trade for a guy. And I think if you look at NAW, I think if you look at Jordan Clarkson, Colin Sexton when he was playing, like these guys have all taken big step forwards in their game under Hardy. So why wouldn't you want John Collins to be exposed to Will Hardy to grow his game? I think you would. And if it takes, you know, Jared Vanderbilt and Mike Conley shipped out to get that deal done, I think you absolutely do that.
Yeah.
Because, again, the trade that I'm told was negotiated didn't happen was Dario Saric and John Collins plus draft compensation end up with the Jazz. And in Atlanta, you wind up with Landry Shamet and Jay Crowder. That's a big win for the Utah Jazz. And then in Phoenix, you wind up with Mike Conley and Jared Vanderbilt. And I think that's a big win for Phoenix. That makes them a far better and more dangerous team. The other thing you got to remember is that Phoenix recognizes that they are in a championship window that they also recognize is closing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they understand that a guy like a Landry Shamet is expendable to them if they're going to get a Mike Conley type in return.
Facts.
And I think, again, this is going to have to be a 3-team trade because of the luxury tax situations involved.
Yeah.
But you look at what's out there, Jared Vanderbilt is absolutely somebody that has value to a championship team like Phoenix. He does not have that much value to a fringe playoff team like the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any question that power forward's a huge problem for this team, the Utah Jazz. Teddy Wayman, I'm super stoked we got Kessler in the Rudy trade. He's going to be special. If nothing else, he is a really proficient shot blocker. He is a try-hard guy on defense, no doubt. Brett Burnett says, I got the like. Hit the like button like the Hulk, guys. Yeah, let's go. Where are we at on likes? Just about 2,000 views today, 133 likes. So, yeah, let's go. Smash that like button, bro. Appreciate that. Eric C., good morning to you, friend. Eric, are we hooking up when we're in L.A.?
Whoa, bro.
No. Why do you have to turn everything sexual?
Why do you ask guys questions like that, dude?
Okay, here we go. Time for penis talk with Jake.
Fucking A.
Hey, Eric, are we going to get together for a picture and maybe, you know, a bev or a taco or 7? Eric C. lives in SoCal.
Hey, guys.
I'm convinced if the Jazz get Collins and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander from OKC, they're a contender. You're not getting
SGA, dude.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Okay, maybe we won't because we don't hang out with drug users. Because clearly, that's probably too far.
Yes, you did.
Anyway, let's see. Anthony Cornell says, I'm not paying someone $26 million to do what Vando does. It's that simple, boys. Vando does what Collins does it. No, not close. That's not close. If you think that Jared Vanderbilt and John Collins are similar players, you have never seen John Collins play.
You don't watch John
What
Collins
are you talking about?
Yeah.
You can't. John Collins is a 30 mid to high 30s 3-point shooter. That's a guy that'll give you 16, 18 points a night. That's a guy that can give you 7 to 10 rebounds a night. That's a guy that can shoot the three. Again, his biggest issue is perimeter defense. He does not move his feet well.
He's way more explosive than Vando is.
John Collins is a superior player compared to Jared Vanderbilt. With all due respect, Anthony, I don't know which guy you're looking at. Brother says, sorry, Brent, come on. Everyone hit the like button. Seriously, we got 164 and less likes in the stream. Support his show. I'm dying. There's 159 people watching the show right now, and we have 139 likes. Appreciate that. Let's go. Keep rolling. Cody Strickland says, what you guys think about Udoka Azubuike playing? Trade coming involving him?
He's just not valuable. Like
he's not an NBA player.
Yeah, he just hasn't. There's no like cool. Yeah, he may be a throw-in player on a trade. Sure, I mean I could see that, but there's not like, oh yeah, I gotta have Doak on my team. Like,
but I look at somebody like a Micah Potter. Micah Potter is more of an NBA player than Udoka Azubuike. Yeah. With all due respect to Doak, I just don't think he doesn't have. Due respect. Yeah, he doesn't have NBA athleticism.
Yeah,
like I mean, it just isn't, is what I'm saying. Anthony says, pointless basketball, it's not new. Don't dismiss it. The Jazz haven't gotten everything right. Dario sucks. Keep him. You're not taking Dario Saric to be a frontline player. Dario Saric is an expiring contract that gives you good minutes off the bench. If he's your 9, 10, 11, 12 guy off the bench, why do you care? He's cheap and he's expiring. Who cares? Like, You're looking, and I'll put the graphic back up because I don't understand. If you say no to this trade, I would love to understand why.
Yeah.
Why would you say no to have John Collins? To have John Collins instead of Jared Vanderbilt is a massive win. And by the way, an NBA source told us this is a trade that was thrown around, and draft compensation prevented that trade from happening. So you're telling me that you wouldn't rather have John Collins than Jared Vanderbilt? Because let's be honest, Dario Saric is a throwaway. He's not a vital piece of anything.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to understand how you don't value John Collins higher than Jared Vanderbilt. Like, explain that help me understand that. Because that just does not compute.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to, if I'm wrong, you help me with that, because I don't get that. Brett Burnett says Karl Malone wouldn't be crushing it. Absolute stud as his body made him hard to guard like LeBron. Would be crushing it, excuse me. Yeah, I would agree with that. Jeremy Bolton says, I think Karl Malone and Stockton would definitely thrive in today's NBA. The problem is that John Stockton, athletic, you need to be incredibly athletic to be elite in today's NBA.
John Stockton in today's NBA would not do what he did back then. Today's NBA agree. Is twice as athletic as it was back then.
I would agree. I think Karl Malone was a physical freak. John Stockton, I think, would have a harder time being elite. Because who's the point guard comparison to him? Like John Paxson, who's the point guard comparison to him today? I mean, is John Stockton Steph Curry? Is John Stockton Chris Paul? He's not. I think Chris Paul's probably a better player than John Stockton was.
I mean, the closest comparison that I could even think of would be like maybe a little Tony Parker back in the day. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, there's not a real clean cut like for like right now.
And I wonder, does Karl Malone shoot threes in today's NBA?
I don't think he'd be a three guy. I think he'd be an elbow guy. That's what I think.
I think that could be. I think that
he'd
could be
a get fouled, try to get to the line guy.
He always had the ability to be a mid-range player.
Yeah.
I'm curious what he would be. That's interesting. That's interesting. Anthony H says, Carl could definitely stretch his shot out to the 3-point line. He'd just be as dominant. I think Karl Malone would be the same player. I think Karl Malone would be an absolute pick and roll master, and he would run the floor. I have no doubt about that. Salty Drunk says, looks like Anthony is running his car with the garage door closed this morning. Wow. Jaren Eccles says, make the trade and start NAW at point. I want to see. He was terrible last night, by the way.
Turnovers.
NAW, Jake just kept texting me turnovers.
How many times I wonder if NAW is running a charity because he kept giving the ball away.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not going to do it. Ken Williams says, I say no Vando is an engine that makes this team go. You think Jared Vanderbilt's the engine that makes this team go?
No, I think that's Mike Conley.
Yeah, I think you look at Conley, Clarkson,
and maybe even a little bit of Sexton as well.
I look at that again. I just point to the big plays in the game last night. Lauri Markkanen's 3 in the fourth quarter. I think Lauri Markkanen's the most important player on this team. I mean, he has to play well for them to win.
Yeah.
I think JC and Mike are really important. I think Jordan Clarkson, when he's on, fabulous. When he's off, nah, bro, I'm good. Like, I think Mike Conley is really important to this team.
Yeah.
Again, but they need to play with more pace.
Yes.
You can't walk the ball up the floor.
Mentally. They get lazy mentally.
Yeah.
That's what happens to them, and then they got to get Will Hardy's got to check them, and then they play fast again.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Anthony says, and you're responding, little guy. What does that mean?
Go.
How am I? Did you just call me fat?
I think he's talking to Salty.
Oh, is he really? Okay, sorry. Jeremy Bolton says Caruso is a poor man's Steve Blake. Okay.
He's better than Steve Blake was.
He got dropped the other night, by the way, Caruso. Yeah. Brother says, but the question is, what's the condition of Jaren Hall until tomorrow's bowl game against SMU? He ain't playing, man. He's not playing. He's not healthy.
Yeah.
Kalani yesterday said he's not playing. So, Brandon Butler said Stock would be fine. He was a great shooter, and the new rules would let him operate with more space. But he's undersized, and undersized point guards struggle in this league.
Yeah,
we know that. So you can be a big, oversized point guard, but you can't be an undersized point guard in the NBA. Like, who's the? I mean, if you're thinking of point guard rankings, like a Chris Paul, undersized, always injured. Right? Like, always. I look at guys like Kawhi Leonard bringing the ball up. I look at
Zion
bringing the ball up. I look at, like John Stockton was so talented. I think he would find a way. He would find a way. His game would be different.
Yeah.
His game would have to be different.
Yeah.
Because I think he has clearly he has athleticism. He has skill. He has talent. It's just a matter of how would his game be different? Karl Malone doesn't need to change his game at all to thrive in today's NBA. He does not. Jeremy Bolton says, giggity, Caruso is a poor man's Raul Lopez. Okay.
Excuse me, it's not Raul, it's Raul.
Raul Neto. Pied Piper says the JIMMER would be an elite in today's NBA.
No.
Stop it.
Nah, fam.
Stop it. He's being sarcastic. He's being sarcastic. Maury Alvarez, Carl's turnaround jumper was fire. Yes, it was. Boyd Lake, what's up, my guy? He says Stockton was capable of shooting threes like point guards today. You see John Stockton shooting threes like... I don't know about that. I think there are very few guys who are tougher physically and mentally than Stockton was Kobe Jordan tough mentally.
Okay. First of all, we need to address the fact that you spelled Kobe C-O-B-Y.
I was going to gloss over that.
Come on, guy.
Okay,
can we get to some of this fun stuff here?
Yeah, hang on, a couple more. Hunt 2 says, Monty, do you think guys like Danny Ainge will move players this season, or will he wait till no, he will. My guess is that you are going to see Vanderbilt and Beasley, and I would think those two guys at the minimum. I think Mike Conley's available. And I think Mike deserves an opportunity to win a championship. And again, this goes back to what we talked about last week. Does Mike want to go somewhere else and win a championship? I don't know. But I do think he'll make moves. I do think he will make moves. Jeremy Bolton wants to know if you know who John Stockton is.
Yeah. John Stockton was a WWE wrestler back in the day, and
Okay. All right. Where do you want to go to first in the non-sports stories of the day on the Monty Show? Let's talk about building furniture.
Yeah.
So, Mrs. Monty's got a broken arm.
Right.
She bought a bookshelf because we have 3 fish.
Well, she has 3 fish.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mrs. Monty has 3 fish in a tank in our basement.
Right.
She wants a bigger tank. She needed a bookshelf. She intentionally broke her arm so she wouldn't have to build the bookshelf. So, of course, she buys the bookshelf, and it comes with really crappy instructions.
Right.
I mean, terrible instructions. No words, just pictures that don't make any sense.
Pictograms.
Are you somebody that builds your own furniture? Are you Team IKEA? Because I can tell you right now, I'm Team RC Willie. Boys, bring it to my house, put it where I tell you, and have a nice day.
Yep.
I am not a furniture builder. I am not an IKEA guy.
I'm a man.
I don't believe that we as men should have to shop at IKEA.
Right.
I think it is singularly demasculinization of men.
Makes me want to puke.
On Fox News. I hate IKEA.
Yeah.
I hate going to IKEA.
Yeah, the experience is wild.
I hate shopping at IKEA.
Yeah.
I hate parking at IKEA. I hate the cafe at IKEA. I hate the fact
cheese isn't bad.
I hate the fact that mom lets kids run around IKEA like it's a playground.
Y'all want to play.
I hate building furniture at IKEA. I hate that IKEA's furniture weighs like 10,000 pounds. And I'm the one that has to carry it.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, the IKEA furniture I do have is awesome.
Yeah. Lasts forever.
Durable, stays together forever.
Yeah.
But no, I am not building furniture ever again. Because, of course, the instructions were junk, janky-ass instructions.
We get to like step 7, and only on step 7 do you realize you had to do something else a different way. And to go back and fix it, you got to take the whole thing apart, which we definitely were not doing.
Dude, I'm not doing it. I'm never doing it. I'm never doing it again. The bookshelf turned out fine. At the end of the day, it was fine. But I took it apart twice to get it together once. I'm not building furniture. It's not what I do.
It's not what I do.
I talk into microphones and I eat mass amounts of food. That's what I do.
That's what I do. You know what I mean? And I'm an expert in that.
Fact.
You know, I can't stand it.
Yeah, I mean, building furniture has to be one of the biggest pet peeves in my life. Like, I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it. Would rather you just come in, drop it off, do your thing, get the hell out of my house. We're good to go.
Seriously, Luis Capazzo. Monty, that's not building, that's putting the Lego parts together.
You know what?
I was a prolific Lego part putter together when I was a kid. Dude, I had tons of Legos and loved them. This bookshelf almost took my life. It was so frustrating.
All gas, no brake.
It's so frustrating. Yes, Raptor, it's like Legos.
You know you're in trouble when they give you the bag full of bolts and an Allen wrench. Yeah. And you're like, uh-oh.
Why Allen wrenches, you cocks? Why Allen wrenches? Why do we like that? Screws are fine. Power driver, screw. Hey,
power.
Bada bing, bada boom. Screw in the hole. It's fine.
Right.
Why do you have to torture me with an Allen wrench? I don't get it. I don't get it. It drives me crazy. Mike Phillips says, I love IKEA. The stuff looks way better too. RC Willie sells furniture right out of 1986.
Well,
okay.
That's not unfair.
It's not unfair. Actually.
Yeah, it's not unfair.
Pied Piper says, Jake, what's your go-to B-Day dinner dessert?
Oh, this is easy. It's a New York strip medium with some shrimp. Give me some mashed potatoes and some mac. And then after that, we're having apple pie.
There you go. Done. Didn't even have to think about it.
And some vanilla ice cream with it.
Didn't even have to think about it. Jordan, hello. Ron Nolan says, you guys seem to know a lot about IKEA. How is that possible? Because I've been forced at gunpoint to go in there far too many times in my marriage.
Schemers trying to control their little worlds.
And frankly, I like sex, so I go to IKEA with my wife.
You're a smart man.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Jordan Royal says, IKEA instructions suck. The Swedish can't put some instructions in English? No.
Why would they do that? See, that would make it easy on us.
No, they don't want to. They don't want to. Giggity says no chicken burrito.
Nah, no chicken burrito, bro. Nope.
Exactly right.
Although that may be on the menu for breakfast.
Exactly. Mike Maple says Team RC Willie, IKEA makes things for munchkins. Yes, they do.
Munchkins.
Yes, they do. Luis Capazzo. I knew I was in trouble when the wife didn't want to pay for walnut and I had to build my dining room table out of alder.
Oof.
Okay. Anthony says this channel can't handle opinions. What are you talking about? What opinion can't handle?
What are you talking about?
What you know? Jordan says IKEA instruction. I read that one. My bad. Let's see. It's hard to strip an Allen wrench head. Did I misspell any of that? Wow. Boy,
Damn, Boyd just called me stupid.
Greg Hawkins, RC Willie is unbeaten. My dad and I used to go there on Saturdays to check out the big screen TVs and get their $1 hot dog deal.
Dude, how? Okay, can I propose this question? How much of a difference does it make if you're offering $1 hot dogs as part of your shopping experience?
Man. Huge difference.
Like Costco, RC Willie, IKEA's got a whole cafe.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, does it not make it more palatable?
Yes. All right, a couple more comments before we get to Pornhub. Lopes fan Gabe says, I hate IKEA experience, but I will build the hell out of a Hamsis and Lamarp. Okay, bro. You know. Jeremy Bolton says, anyone know of any good steak places here in Davis County?
Okay, let's get the Google machine out here. I can't say that I do. Steakhouse, Davis County.
I can't say that I do.
Early results. Outback Steakhouse, a real original.
Outback Steakhouse is not a steakhouse.
Texas Roadhouse.
Okay, Texas Roadhouse is not a steakhouse.
Time and Season Restaurant.
Okay.
Teppanyaki Japanese Steakhouse.
Wait. Is Texas Roadhouse, your former employer, is Texas Roadhouse an actual steakhouse?
Okay. It is yes and no. So,
why do you do this to me?
Okay, the reason it is because they have like
Please.
50 different cuts of meat.
Please,
and they are all USDA, so technically it is a steakhouse. If you're asking me about a steakhouse, hell no, that is not a steakhouse.
No, it's not a steakhouse.
Now, their buns, incredible. Absolutely
incredible.
incredible.
What do the women that work there have to do with anything?
Their buns are absolutely amazing.
Okay. All right. Alan says, Andy H. says, Allen wrench drill attachment is invaluable.
Oh.
Wish I had one. Thank you. Luis says, got to keep the wife happy. Happy
Seriously.
wife, happy life,
Seriously.
man. Ken says, I love how people don't think Stock was not the greatest point guard to ever play the game. He wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't, so not really sure.
Giggity gives us a $20 tip and says, happy birthday, Jake. Chicken burritos on me.
Appreciate you, Giggity.
Look at you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Look at you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Look at you. Let's see.
Oh, Ruff's official.
Hey, how about that? Tucanos in Farmington. Okay. Have never been. Jeremy Bolton says, you could offer me a free hot dog while buying a flame piece of turd and I go.
Yeah, seriously. You know what I mean?
Seriously.
Like, come on.
Man, I'm telling you, though, hot dogs are terrible for you, but you give me a Costco hot dog, I'm on it.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm on it. I am on it. Brother says $20. Boom, boom. Hell yeah.
Boom, bada boom, bada bing.
Hell yeah. Brent Burnett.
Duck season. Where's duck season? I want my birthday gift.
Yeah, we need the full family reunion. Brett Burnett says, is that true? Jake's B-Day today? Sunday is Jake's birthday.
Sunday.
Comment dump. Andy H says Longhorn is the best of the chains and it's just okay. See, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
It is. I totally agree with that. Brent Burnett says Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Bang, bang. That's Sunday.
That's a steakhouse.
We'll be there Sunday. Let's go.
Yeah. Mastro's Ocean Club is number 1 for me.
Yes.
Ruth's Chris is number 2.
Although I'm going back to the scene of the colon crime.
Yeah, but see, you learned your lesson. Are you confident? Because this was a debate. Now, for all of you new folks on the show,
oh God,
last year we go to Mastro's, dry aged beef. That didn't really work out for my guy's colon. Okay, this year we're going back.
Sheets.
We're going back. This year he is not going to get dry aged beef. He's going to get regular, like I did. He'll be fine. But the question remains: are you going to get the salad? Because the salad was a suspect in you getting sick.
It was the Thousand Island dressing, I think, that towed me up. I'm going to get a New York strip, and I'm going to get 4 pieces of shrimp.
Just get the chopped salad with ranch.
I think that's what I'm doing because I think it was the dressing. And I'll never eat dry aged beef again. Ever. Jaren Eckel says, I'll go anywhere for $1 hot dog.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
But but does that mean that you will go to Pornhub for $1 hot dog?
Dude.
That's a euphemism. Okay, so let's get into this Pornhub thing.
Yeah.
Because now, and I freely admit this, and go ahead and mock me. It's totally fine. I am not a porn guy. I'm not somebody that consumes pornography. I am one of the neocon, lefty libtards.
Yes.
I believe that pornography melts your brain. I think it ruins relationships. I think it creates unreasonable expectations for young men. But I know that a ton of people in this country consume porn. And I get it. My question is, before Jake starts reading all of these searches, because the list of the top searches in every state on Pornhub is out, why do people pay for pornography? If Pornhub is supposedly this great free pornography site,
right,
and they say it is,
right,
why are you paying for OnlyFans? Somebody needs to explain that to me.
Simple.
A, I'm not paying for porn. B, if this site's free, why do you go somewhere else and pay for it?
Okay, here's what you're missing on the reason OnlyFans has taken off the way it has is because on OnlyFans you can get into the DM section and you can ask whatever channel or whoever the hell you're watching or whatever, you can ask that person to do something specific. You can act like there's a relatability factor that OnlyFans has capitalized.
Okay, so
on.
let me get this right.
Yeah.
So then OnlyFans, and it's OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Is for the guy who doesn't know how to talk to women in person.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what OnlyFans is for.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
And I understand, look, if you're single and you're lonely and you're sleeping in the dark, okay, cool, crank up the Pornhub machine. All right, maybe I understand that.
Right.
I'm never paying for pornography. And bro, if you don't have even the slightest bit of game which says you can't go talk to somebody, that you're willing to pay for porn, you got to be. I think it's a bigger problem. I am not judging anybody. I get it. Eric C says, "God damn, Jake's an expert on OnlyFans."
I know.
Have you ever paid for OnlyFans?
I have not.
Would
a
you?
lot of my boys at Yelp have. A lot
really?
of my boys at the Yelpatory have. Yes.
I got it, man. Working in the sales environment,
dude. Your brain needs the release, and a lot of guys use OnlyFans for that.
There is not a lot of moral compasses in the sales industry, especially in sales farms.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right, so let's get into the top searches. What was the number one search nationally on Pornhub?
The number one search nationally on Pornhub was lesbian. Number one search.
Is that true?
Yeah, the most searched term in the United States in 2022 on Pornhub was lesbian.
That's crazy.
Also, the most viewed category was lesbian. So clearly our country has a thing for this.
So dudes have an obsession with lesbians.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Now, here's what I think is fascinating.
I can understand that.
The time of day, before I tell you the number one searches by state, right? The time of day thing's really fascinating. Now, obviously, just generally speaking, more of this content is consumed at night, obviously, right? But what's really interesting is you have this subsect, this secondary time in the late afternoon. So are you a guy
in the late? What time is late afternoon?
4 and 5 o'clock.
Who's watching porn at 4 o'clock in the afternoon?
Specifically on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Who is watching?
You know who it is? I bet this is just a guess. This is Buddy, the burger flipper, who's getting ready to go before his night shift. That's what I think it is.
There is so that's one of the busiest times. Is 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Day is Friday.
Well, hopefully everybody's out trying to make porn, not watch porn.
I guess.
So at weekday afternoons, what's the busiest time?
Busiest time is 11 p.m.
Well, that's not surprising.
And busiest day is Monday.
That's not surprising at all.
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, dude. Like as if you don't have anything else better to do.
Dude, again, and I'm not. If you watch porn, I am not judging you. Do you? I am a free believer in do what you want. Smoke weed, drink booze, watch porn. Hey, knock yourself out.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, if you're free at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to watch porn, you got to reevaluate your life. Because you should be, I'm serious, you should be at work, you should be at the gym, you should be.
You see, I'm a guy of simple taste.
Going for a walk. If you're watching porn in numbers at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you got a problem, dude. Like, and I know that's judgmental, but goddamn, 4 o'clock in the afternoon
on a Monday.
Stop. You got other stuff you should be doing.
Okay, now here's some. Actually, let's go comments first. Yeah.
Fat Jesus just said 4 p.m. What else are you doing? Are you going to do when stuck in traffic on your way home?
Yeah,
Stop it. People do not watch porn driving.
Maybe you tinted your Tesla and you're in autopilot mode and you just want to get after it.
Get out of here. People don't do that. Do you? Are there people who have you ever watched porn driving?
No.
Good Lord. Brett Burnett says free to do whatever, but not without consequences. Sounds like free comes with a cost. Seriously. Salty Drunk says 4 p.m. is teens rushing home after school. Daddy? That could be. Jaren Eccles says cranking one out at 4 after a full day of day trading.
Oh my God, just like that. Oh.
I'm sorry, did you say cranking one out?
Best nomenclatures for cranking one out.
Strengthening your forearm? Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Where is... Wow, you guys are really into this. Let's see.
What does that say?
Andy H. says, stepmom helps stepson has to be number 1 in Florida.
Okay, let's see what Florida's got.
Is stepmom porn a big thing?
Sure, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel totally naive about this.
Yeah, that's not going to be what Florida's number 1 is. I got news for you, bud.
Be gentle.
Yeah,
what is Florida's number 1?
Florida's number 1 is going to be BBC. If you don't know what that means, you're going to have to look it up because I'm not saying it.
Should I know what that means?
I'm not saying it.
Okay.
I'm not saying it.
All right, that's fine. Christmas Spirit Gabriel says, bruh, at 4 in the afternoon?
Yeah,
that's
dude.
my point. That's my point.
That's what I'm saying.
Brandon Butler says marriage is just paying to be in porn. Well, that could be. Christmas says you're preaching to the gospel right now, my guy. Brett Burnett says marriage is a lot more than just that. It is. See, like, I think we as men have so much dysfunction in our marriage sexually that we struggle with it. I think it creates frustration in men.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
right?
100%.
Like,
yeah, 100%.
The dysfunction, and this is why I always tell you, don't be in a hurry to get married. The dysfunction in your sex life is in every relationship. It's simply, do you choose to talk about it and address it, or do you just let it go?
No, but I will with your wife.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Andy H. agrees it's after school teens. Okay. I don't disagree with that.
Cranking one out has to be one of the best ones I've heard.
Phenomenal. Brett Burnett says people watch porn even when they're not watching.
Okay.
Okay, what do you mean by that? Eric C. says, how's NorCal today, Ruffs? You lucky, filthy animal. Man, dude, I cannot wait to get to Tahoe next week. Ken Williams says, haha, Jake seems to be an expert.
Yeah, that joke is played.
Oh, I know what BBC means. Oh, yeah, we can't say that on the show.
Yeah, I can't say that, dude.
Jake can't watch porn when driving. His car drowns out the quality audio.
Yeah,
well,
you know what I mean?
I mean, Jake, they're not. By the way, that's porn for Jake right there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, just like that.
Exactly. Exactly. Teddy Wayman says, I'm interested in what Utah's top search is, Jake. Let's hear
Teddy,
it.
Why don't you take a guess, my guy? Why don't you take a guess?
Be gentle again with the terminology. What is the number 1 search?
Mormon. Swear to God, not even making it up. Mormon.
Wait a minute. The number 1 search on Pornhub in the state of Utah is Mormon?
Is Mormon. Yep. And to add to the fire.
That's disappointing.
To add to the fire, Utah, the average watch time is 9 minutes and 52 seconds.
Is that a lot?
That's actually tied for the least, but the longest in the country is Alabama at 11 minutes and 22 seconds.
You're never getting that time. If you're watching porn for 11 minutes, is that search time or like actually watching?
You fucking donkey.
And by the Wait a minute. Don't skip the lead. The number one Pornhub search term in Utah is Mormon.
Mormon, yes.
You guys got to get out of the house more.
Yes.
You're searching. Oh, my God.
Some other ones. Washington is fleshlight.
What?
Now,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. Okay. So you're a dude and you're on. See, you're a dude on Pornhub in the state of Washington on Pornhub searching for a fleshlight. Is that a how-to video? Are you kidding me right now? Oh, my God. Come on.
Now, for all of my Packer fans, all of my AR-12s.
Stop it.
All of my Wiscos, all of my cheeseheads.
Fleshlight.
Wisconsin's.
Oh, God.
Top term.
Wait. Let me guess. Badger.
No. Nope. Try again.
Aaron Rodgers.
No, close. It's pegging.
Fuck, I give up. Honestly, I give up. I'm Wisconsin.
Dude.
Guy, you should be wiped out. Dude, and you thought fleshlight was a problem?
Is that a real question?
Wisconsin's number one search term on Pornhub is pegging.
Pegging, yes. In fact.
So, somebody help me, dude. Well, how many dudes are searching for pegging? Is that not like is that not?
Yeah, it's cringe. It's cringe.
Dude. So are there a lot of dudes watching other dudes do their own dude?
People are misinterpreting what I'm saying.
Is that what that is? What are we doing? Guys.
Do we have any people in the chat from Wisconsin? I need an explanation on why people are searching for pegging in Wisconsin.
Jaren Eccles says every new listener on this show is so confused right now. What are we doing? Duck season! Duck season from what? No, that's Oregon. All right, go back to being.
Hold on. Let me pull up Oregon's.
For duck season, here's the number one search term on Pornhub in Oregon.
Fitting. Furry.
What does furry mean? Is furry a sex term that I'm unaware of?
Fuzzy mug.
Oh,
furry.
Stop it. That's not a female term. Nobody, oh man, I want that chick was so hot. She was furry.
You got to fuck one, marry one, kill one. Go.
Stop it. No way.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Brother, it says, what, Jake? Are you kidding me?
No, dude. Pegging for Wisconsin.
Giggity says, is Oregon's top search beaver? No, apparently not.
No, it's furry.
Christmas Spirit Gabriel says, Monty officially gives up. Poor Wisconsin. Oh, my God. Love has no bounds and means far more than what we realize, apparently.
Having fun is the name of the game.
Apparently. My God. Luis says, we got to get back to sports. Yeah, after that Wisconsin bomb. Good Lord. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
I don't get it. Jeremy
I really
Bolton,
don't understand.
What is happening here? The number search at Tanner's place is Mormon soaking.
Well,
do we really in Utah search Pornhub for Mormons?
Apparently. Yeah, apparently.
Wouldn't you search for Catholics? Like, are you kidding me right now? Can you, that makes no, I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I am so confused. I am so confused by this.
Yeah, dude. I just thought these were fascinating.
Kay says everyone can't be Zachy.
Well, he's not wrong, right?
To which Brent Burnett says, no. Tom says there are furry conventions. Well, okay.
Okay, Tom.
I don't want to know.
Tom?
I don't want to know.
You're not doing this to us today, bro.
Lopes fan Gabe says Arizona's number one search is Haboob, right? What's Arizona,
Let's
Jake?
see what Arizona's is. That's a good question.
Okay.
No, Arizona's is shower.
What is wrong with you? You're searching Pornhub for the word shower?
We get it. It's hot in Phoenix. We get it.
I don't believe this is true. I don't believe that's true. Ain't nobody searching for shower sex in Arizona.
It is
Wouldn't
hot out.
Wouldn't it be pool sex? Wouldn't it be ocean sex? Wouldn't it be? You want to shower? What? And then Wisconsin, come on.
How?
I'm serious. Wisconsin should be wiped off the map. There's nothing redeemable in Wisconsin now. It just isn't. No. Christmas Spirit Gabriel wants to know the top search in Colorado because he's moving there.
Goth
porn. Marilyn Manson and porn. Are you goth, Christmas Spirit? Come on, man. You know. Andy H says Mormon schoolgirls. Come on.
Come on.
Jaren Eccles says, so anyway, stop at your local barbecue pit stop and get some high-quality rub for your meat. This is insanity. I don't believe this. I don't believe it even a little bit.
Yeah.
No.
So there you
Sorry,
go.
man.
I hope you guys had a good laugh. I thought that was funny as hell. I thought that was more than welcome on the show.
I am absolutely fascinated.
Yeah.
Fascinated by Oregon or by Washington and Wisconsin.
Pegging, dude. How?
But even more to the point, if you're in Utah and you're looking at porn, you're going to hell because you're searching for Mormon porn. What does that mean? What does that mean? Anyway, I'm so confused by it. And then finally, because we talked about porn.
Yeah.
TLC has a new show called MILF Manor. I kid you not. We're going to end the week with MILF Manor.
Yeah.
And here's the question that I have. Who greenlit this show? MILF Manor is a show that has divorced women with children that are supposedly hot and sexy living in a mansion with young single dudes who like older women. Executive producer Lisa Wilson.
Old women who like young guys with abs. Get it on.
Isn't that called The Housewives of Salt Lake City?
Yes.
Isn't that what those shows are? Like, do we really need this from the Learning Channel? TLC is the new home for MILF Manor.
Yeah, there's sex ed happening here. These guys just need to learn, you know?
This is one of those things where I just want to say, what is our fascination in this country? Because men don't watch TLC.
No.
Tell me.
It's viewed by women mostly.
Tell me that as a man you would watch MILF Manor. I'm not watching.
Yeah, sorry. I'll be watching college football and smoking wings, okay?
I don't buy that the Learning Channel feels like there's a huge audience for MILF Manor. And furthermore, how desperate and thirsty are you if you're like, oh yeah, there's a show called MILF Manor, I think I'm going to try out.
And it's very powerful.
I don't understand the thought.
Who at TLC, this is a serious question, who at TLC was like, oh, we got to have that show?
Hey guys.
Oh, that concept, amazing.
Hey guys.
Got to have that show. Isn't MILF Manor like a Fox show? Isn't that like isn't that like a Hulu Paramount Network show? That's not a Learning Channel show. What, Blue's Clues wasn't available for you, TLC?
What, Dora the Explorer wasn't educational enough?
So we went with MILF Manor because we couldn't get, Where is Carmen Sandiego? Daddy? So we had to go with MILF Manor. What's wrong? Cooking with Jimmy wasn't available. Like, what shows are we picking from? It's the Learning Channel. What? Who's next with a porn show? National Geographic. We go from Shark Week to MILF hunting.
What?
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What,
Bear Grylls wasn't available for a nature show?
Bear Grylls. He invades the MILF Manor. Like, what are we doing?
Pegging isn't part of the show.
Bear Grylls and his fleshlight invade MILF Manor.
It's on at 4:00 on Monday afternoon.
Only in Wisconsin. What are we doing? What are we doing with MILF Manor? You can't get reruns of Chicago PD or Chicago Fire or Chicago Med or something that has to do with Chicago? We got to go MILF Manor? What, Happy Days reruns aren't good enough for you? Is it that I Love Lucy is in syndication somewhere else? So you went with MILF Manor? The TLC developed this show. The Learning Channel and its parent company developed MILF Manor. And I just don't understand it. Like, what are we doing with MILF Manor? Please.
What, a retread of Temptation Island wasn't available?
Seriously. Shouldn't that be? Isn't MILF Manor just another word? If you're a dude, isn't MILF Manor just another word for Survivor? Because if you go to MILF Manor, are you not immediately under attack by MILFs? Please. Anyway.
What, a retaping of The Bachelorette wasn't available?
Lopes fan Gabe says, I'm only in on MILF Manor if the pool of dudes are sons of contestants. Now that is some high drama. Mom, is that you? Meet our newest contestant, Steve from Albuquerque. Fresh off the BYU New Mexico beatdown, Steve is ready to cougar hunt.
Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly.
Mom, is that you? Right? Isn't that like how the script plays out?
Dude.
Come on.
What are we doing,
Ken Williams says TLC has sister wives. Right. Do you know how many polygamy shows there are? And yet you guys still search Pornhub for the word Mormon. That might be the most baffling one. That dudes in Utah search Pornhub. The number one search term in Utah on Pornhub last year is Mormon.
You and your mom are hillbillies.
What are you doing? Mom, is that you? The door's unlocked. Like, what are we doing? Alan Corbin says 30 Rock did a spoof called MILF Island a few years ago. Yeah, what? Seinfeld reruns weren't available for TLC? Good Lord. Duck Season says the Lopes fan gobs. I think they are. I'm watching it. Okay. Christmas Spirit Gabriel. The show sounds like one of those cheap shows with garbage acting on some website. I've lost hope for cable TV. And they wonder why everybody's cord cutting when MILF Island or whatever it's called, MILF Manor.
Dude.
MILF Manor. And we watched the trailer last night.
What F-Boy Island wasn't available for you?
Seriously.
Too hot to handle?
Do you guys, this has to be scripted. You can't tell me that this is reality TV. It's real. It's unscripted. It's real and raw. Brought to you by KY Jelly Lube. Like, well, I don't understand how this gets greenlit. I'm serious. What are you watching on TV?
Sports mostly. I mean, Chicago PD reruns all day.
I have every episode of Chicago PD.
I mean,
I have all the SVUs. I
think it's the NBC cop shows, right? Like, so Chicago PD, SVU, you know, like.
Andy H says Carmen Sandiego's 48. She's a divorcee with 2 kids, looking for a beefcake to peg. On this episode of MILF Manor.
Last week, Buddy the accountant got pegged.
Kay the MILF Cougar. Like, what are we doing?
I'm gonna get medieval on your ass.
What are we doing? He went into the Fleshlight Cave and got more than he had bargained for at MILF Manor. Like, on next week's episode, an exclusive look at next week's episode.
Oh, hi, Patty. What's for dinner?
It's an erection.
Oh, Kevin, you're for dinner at MILF Manor. Right? Where the only uniform required is no uniform at all. What are we doing? Huey Reed says Bear Grylls wouldn't escape MILF Manor unscathed. Yeah. No, he would not. Bear Grylls defeated for the first time, mauled by a cougar. What are we doing? Oh, my God. K. Nurin says Zach plays this week, wins, and takes the Jets to the playoffs. No, he takes the Jet down to MILF Manor.
Is on the Jet.
Celebrity appearance by Zach Milfson. MILF Manor, hosted by Lisa Wilson, with a special guest appearance by her friend who's pegging her son. Oh, my God. What are we? Hello?
Oh, man, dude.
Bad Jesus says, I'm watching Yellowstone, and then I find Yellowbone on the way. Oh, my God. That's amazing.
Oh, my goodness, dude. I'm dead.
Jaren says the whole time the Maverick Center custodian has been around the corner questioning everything.
Hey, man. Hey, listen, big boss man. I don't know what was going on in that studio.
There were too many meat stick and pegging references.
But they were talking about meat stick, fleshlights, and watching Pornhub in Mormon country.
And some guy named Zach Milton played football.
And all the time they had on porn, and it was actually not Pornhub. They were watching TLC.
Okay, we're going to have to terminate them right now.
Oh. Look, boss. Hey, man. Look, those guys up there in the Monty Show studio. Hey, Monty. Those guys up there in the Monty Show studio. They had on TLC, and there was a show called MILF Manor. And I saw Zach Wilson, so that's why I stopped to watch.
Oh, my God, just like that.
I wasn't interested, but Zach Wilson was on the show. How could I have not watched? Did you watch? No, but Zach Wilson.
How's that conversation end? Hey, guys, just want to, come on in the office here, guys. I'm just curious. One of the guys was up there working on the railing, and he said you guys were watching Pornhub on TLC. Tell me about that.
If you felt these balls.
Okay, well, listen, part of the agreement you signed said that you wouldn't watch any Zach Wilson porn. And if you did, it would be on Sunday, and nobody gets off on the way he plays football. So we're going to need an explanation for this. Hey, man, do you know what the number one search on Pornhub in Utah
is? That a real question?
No, but I search for Mormon. Why are you searching? I can't get past that. Of all the things you said about Pornhub, I can't get past the fact that bros in Utah search for Mormon. I can't get past it. Andy H says, next week on MILF Island, it's Jake's birthday. What did I give Jake for his birthday?
Think that's HIPAA?
No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I almost said it. I didn't say it. Christmas says, how does this show pass the FCC censors? We're not on the radio. It's YouTube.
We're not on the radio. We're on MILF Manor.
Eminem says, no one gets off on watching Zach Wilson play football. Exactly right. You are not turned on by watching. Oh, my God. Jets to start Zach Wilson. I am not kidding. Jets to start Zach Wilson. Breaking news from ESPN.
Zach Wilson spent the week rehabbing at MILF Manor and now is starting on Sunday.
Zach Wilson made an amazing recovery from his knee injury. He didn't go to Germany to get platelet-rich therapy. He went to MILF Manor
to get pegged.
God, I want you to know that this is purely for entertainment. Please forgive me. God, if you're out there. That's hysterical. Zach Wilson.
Oh, my God, dude.
Does Zach Wilson owe us an apology? Well, no, we probably owe him an apology. But anyway, dude. Zach Wilson is starting for the Jets. That news just came across.
Oh, my God.
Good Lord. All right, you should probably play the music before we get kicked out of here.
Man, wow, that was a heater.
Oh, thank you, everybody that watched the show. Thank you for coming in.
MILF Manor.
Thank you for spending your time with us. And I'm in all seriousness, thank you guys so much for spending time with us. You are amazing. Make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. We'll be back Monday. Until Monday, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.